Welcome. Where the fuck is my camera? What did my wife do? Hold on. Where am I? Come back here.
Oh yeah, blame Carson.
No, she literally moved it. It was on this monitor. Now it's over here.
Yeah, I know. I'm messing with you, man.
She was like, "Why is your camera angle so stupid?" I was like, "You're stupid." I'm fucking talking about my camera angles like that.
The one thing I've learned talking to people who are married, it's
Uh-huh.
the wife's fault, always the husband's.
Well, this is my setup and she borrowed it, so, you know.
What he means to say is, I'm right, naner naner.
If your setup wasn't wrong,
What do you mean my setup wasn't
see,
wrong?
it always comes back to the husband.
Always comes back to the husband. Ha 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 ha. And I've been boxed by Abby. Son of a bitch. Already, off the get-go.
And then we got our Discord stuff up. Looks like.
Thank you for... Fuck you, Irish. I got bonked again. I'll do it again.
I'm here, but I can't talk.
That's fine. So, for those, well, I fixed the reactive, because it's the wrong one, because we were trying to fix it before.
Oh, so I'm sorry. That picture you drew is great, Grim.
Of who?
Ara.
There we go. These are the actual
Just
pictures.
Keisha
I'm
with
drawing.
elf ears.
Yeah, it's just basically her with ears. Wizard in the party, I see. I mean, Rexus is a wizard, but just not in the game. Soon, per cheesy. You must be grateful for my presence. So if those of you who are subscribers to the channel would see, is that there's been a bunch of emotes posted. I've updated a lot of them. I've shifted a few of them around. So now we have a few new ones to play with. So,
By the way, I've stopped caring about the dragon. I don't want a baby dragon anymore.
very good. Well, we still have to get through what we're currently at, which is a whole thing. So, going to pause the tunes while we have a quick chat of where we were last time, 2 weeks ago. So let's talk about that. So, last time we were here, our dear party had made their way into Blackstone Keep. They had begun going about searching, collecting, fighting what they needed to, going through rooms that seemed unthreatening as they were doing perception checks. And nothing was really sticking out. They were able to spend time forging a weapon. They found a few of these weird headcrab zombies from outside that hadn't pushed their way in. They began trying to piece together what had actually gone on. It seems that Balder, the god that had taken over this fortress, had used some device that they had constructed in the basement to retrieve items from other worlds to his own advantage. And in this time, has opened a gate to somewhere he never wanted to open. Whether it was against his own will or otherwise, is yet to be seen. But it is still open, hence the large ray of light, hence everything else that had occurred. The party even found items from other worlds they've never seen before, things named Blightsteel, Rotwood, things that are just odd and out of place, creatures that don't seem to make quite sense, and even the reports that they've read of different weapons coming from this place called Yarnum. You know, it's just, it's all odd. It's all strange and mechanical and biological in magic. And so as they progress, they finally found their way down to the chamber where this light was, where this portal to another world had been opened through this door, so to speak. As the party moved down the staircase, they all heard whispers that started as a faint pull towards wherever this gate was, becoming stronger and stronger with every closer step. Adarian felt the whispers come across his head, the whispers telling him that he could be the best medical person that he could be. He could cure diseases, cure ailments, and also unleash deadly torrents of plague, all for the betterment of those around him. He simply said no and turned on his ring of mind shielding, shutting off the whispers entirely and continuing forward on what his objective was. Okros heard the words of someone in a deep guttural tone speaking to him, saying that you are a vessel of vengeance and honor, of wrath and glory, and that I would like to meet the man who wishes to be my champion. Very short wording, very small bits and pieces coming through Okros's mind. But then Mr. Nez, oh dear Mr. Nez, the whispers got into his mind and started rooting around in his memories, beginning to mimic voices from his past. And a voice cut through the fog that had taken place among his mind, simply going, "Why, you're finally here! You, my champion, the bringer of change, one who lives in the form of entropy, of constant chaos, shifting and molding to whatever your heart's desire is. Would you like to learn how to twist one's fate further? I know of the sins that have befallen you. I know of the fate that you've been tied to. Would you like to learn how? The gods have powers beyond your imagination. I can give you something of mine to become a changer of fate, to become something better than yourself. But alas, we have yet to introduce ourselves properly, so please, come to the door. Come and see." And as you all step down the staircase, you see these strange, three-armed, green-skinned creatures, not unlike orcs, but different. Bodies are leathery, chitinous. One single large bulbous eye sitting in their heads, tiny, almost proboscis-like mouths. Their third arm being a small one coming out of their chest, as they seem to be coursing this green lightning from the ground up into this beam of light above you that is tearing a hole through the keep and into the skies above. They seem to be chanting some unknown language. Their arms in shackles that seem tied or chained to the ground. And inside of this beam is a silhouette of a man. A large man, larger than Okros, built just as wide as he is, seeming to be wearing some kind of tunic and cowl. His arms are chained outward towards the ground as he floats, almost seems like midair, his mouth agape, his head tilted back as light shines like a beacon from within his core, coming out through his eyes, his mouth pointed upward, being the center point of this light. It's Balder. And you realize this as soon as you stepped into the room, as he was the only other person there that you could consider human. But it was not him that was your center point of realization. No, it was not. The guard you met previously in that encounter told you to hold the door, to close it, before his intestines got rearranged by a paladin trying his best. And then you saw it. You saw the gate. This monstrous technological metallurgy of a device crafted into the walls of this keep, standing easily 30 feet tall, if not half its height in width, made of pieces of technology and magic you've never seen combined before. The veil that sat behind it, that sat between its confines, was that of a swirling mess of madness. that a lesser man looking into it would surely lose himself in the swirling colors, faces, and sounds that emanated from it. But you were no lesser men. You've seen the other side of the terror. You have seen your own fates. And so this does not faze you, but it is not that which is what concerns you. It is with the three beings that sat on the other side of what looked to be this invisible wall. One of them was a large, bulbous figure with green skin that seemed to change and mold and melt, decay and grow back in moments. His smile, a large slit grin with grown, rotting teeth, a long, slithering tongue dripping green slime off of it, horns coming out of the side of his head like that of an antler, of that of a decaying stag, a large bell in one hand and a club in the other. He sat throwing his weight against the glass, the invisible wall that separated you from him. His companions were nothing short of less extraordinary, of course. The one to his left was a large, red-skinned creature, large devil-like horns coming out of his head in pairs of 6, large, grotesque wings, leathery and full of scars. His armor was as black as the hells that he stepped from, cloven hooves upon his feet, a large gaping maw covered in the ichor of the deceased. A large two-handed axe sat in one hand as he swung it with ease into the very wall that held him back. The last companion on the right of the green one was that of a large, almost griffin-like statue. Bright blue and purple feathers adorned its body. Great wings with golden wing caps and trims and adornment. The vestiges of a wizard or some high mage adorned its neck and its chest. It seemed to be the one the most put together out of the three, the one most composed, though once you saw its face, its long, grotesque neck carrying this misshapen, bird-like face, its beak scarred and cracked, its eyes yellow and wide, with whatever madness lied behind them. You saw that its staff breathed this blue, purple, and orange flame against the wall in spurts of that would incinerate a person in an instant. It held its grimoire. It spoke words of an unknown language, not infernal, not celestial, something different, something foreign, something outside the planes you've come to know. The three of them pushed back against this wall as you saw Baldur ascended into a beam of light, becoming the beacon of something that he did not understand. And as the 4 of you stepped into the room, the 3 monsters on the other side of the barrier stopped. They stood. They watched. And grins stretched across their faces. As you once again heard the whispers, simply saying, "Come and see. Come and see." And that is where we are currently in this little campaign of ours. Now, my dear players, that is where you stand today. What do you do?
What if we just went home? Maybe, you know,
Get out of my damn head. I was just thinking that. I was like, can we just say no and turn around and walk away?
I mean, look. I was entirely out of character. I'm the person who was so stubborn in the previous campaign. I just said no to being mind controlled and left. Really cut myself out of the story entirely.
You kind of did.
Like I 100%. I think if you want to do that, I'm not gonna stop you. Pretty sure this is what you would call a problem, though, and our job is kind of to solve problems. So
Look, I was following you, and then you started to be rational. And now I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I really, really don't want to deal with them. This is bad. Also, why is Lucifer in the abyss?
Because he's in Nez's pocket.
Okay. I was like, I just see him in between the walls, and either he's got some Gmod stuff going on, or
Nah, he's just in a pocket.
all right.
Yeah, just Lucifer secretly.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
100%. I'm not sure in character if I'd be more freaked, if Creed would be more freaked out with the fact that Lucifer is now talking, or the fact this is the second person who's done this to him.
The second person who said that exact same quote to him.
I'm really not sure which would be more shocking.
Indeed.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what to do here.
That's the beauty of it. Is what are you gonna
really
do?
don't want to. I really don't want to have to try and kill these guys. I don't think we could do that.
Do you need me to give you another description of the surroundings? Maybe give you an
No.
idea?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see what you got, boss.
Okay, so you guys standing at the base of a staircase. In front of
Yep.
you is 8 of those weird green 3-armed creatures chained to the ground, pushing lightning into the beam of light. Inside the beam of light is Balder, or what you believe to be Balder. He is bigger than Okros. He looks like a Norse person. He's got a bunch of, Ikran and pagan tattoos on his body. Very clearly the man you're looking for, like without a shred of doubt. He is currently hovering off the ground, chained to the ground from his arms. It seems to be some kind of conduit for this beam of light. You can see the beam of light is firing lightning across some kind of weird contraption, powering the gate. The gate seems to be holding back the 3 greater demons by some kind of barrier. And then behind them is the Immaterium.
We've got a free Balder, don't we?
So the guys who are chained to the ground, the three-armed dudes, it seems like they're focusing on doing this, right?
You believe they're focusing on it, but you're not sure what their motivation is.
Oh my god! I just realized they're Vortigons, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, what?
what
I mean,
now?
who? What?
Not familiar with that term.
Okay, so I can't do that in character.
Vortigons.
I can't do that. That's really rude. How far away is Boulder?
So, for all intents and purposes, I will put down
Well,
some tiny markers just so you got a scale of the room you're sitting in.
Thank you.
Balder's going to be the little cleric symbol. He's going to be about dead center on the pit. And then I'll draw you a nice little schmirkle. You know, because
And
we
you
all
said
love
the-
schmirkles here.
The green armed things are shooting lightning at Balder, not at the pit, or both.
He's in the center of this zone.
Okay.
They are sitting around the edge of the zone and they're firing lightning into it, through him, into the beam.
Mhm.
And then, of course, you have the gate behind him, which is essentially that.
Okay.
So you have 8 Vortigons, gate, Balder.
All right. So this is a question. It's an item question.
Yeah.
I have these fancy hand axes that I can throw at people, and I
Yeah.
can call them back.
Yeah.
So if I hit something with it,
Yeah.
and it's still stuck in a person,
Yeah.
does that like tug on the person in my direction if I try to call it back, or does it rip itself free from the target?
For in my mind, with the returning sigil, from what it's written, as well as what I interpret it as, is that the weapon will try to free itself from whatever it's stuck in and return to you.
Okay.
But as you can imagine, there could be different ways that the weapon can interpret that signal if it does so become a thing. So it's more contextual than it is something that you can specifically focus on. If you wanted to try and get something stuck into someone so that you could pull them, that would have to be a little bit more of a planned action, or like trying to physically get it stuck in them so there's no way for it to loosen itself without pulling them towards you.
Yeah, that's why you need to get a barbed harpoon with that on it.
Exactly.
I will make sure that is on the list of things to do.
Like the Spear of Pog from
I
Beyond
think
Etheria.
I think what
Dude.
that's a shame. I just had a sick idea,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't do it now. Which is we get like trying to think of a good example. It's like how they did the autocannon in Starship Troopers for the Marauder suit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a backpack with a harpoon that pops up. We could have had Nameless ride on the back of Okros and shoot a harpoon at stuff.
I mean, yeah, that could have
He- he-
easily been something you could have done.
He's small enough he could actually do it, and Okros would not be technically over encumbered because of the cat on his back.
This actually
Uh,
sounds like an idea that me and Rexus had actually long ago now for some characters for a campaign Sean was thinking about doing.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out: is it better to try to take out the amplifier, or is it better to take out the power supply?
All right, so
Because
I would, before you start making those plans, take a tally of what you have on your person. Like at this point, you guys are in. Adrenaline has hit your systems. You are. Oh, thank you, Drac, for giving Heather a sub. Thank you, sir. Take a tally of what you have, because you're hitting combat, your adrenaline's kicking, and you're going through everything you possibly have on your person. So, kind of take a quick tally, because there's one item that you have that may be of use that's being held by an artificer.
Nez, what's in your pockets?
Run your pockets, Nez.
what's in your pocket there? Yeah, I saw you put something in there. Looks kind of interesting.
I also need to put Aura
Are
climbs
you
out of
talking
the
about the
backpack.
crystal shank?
Maybe.
God is saying that you have something relevant to this quest line in your pocket. So
God's saying you have something relevant in your pocket for the quest line. You have a plot device
off
in your
the corner
pocket.
watching a seal pop out of Rex or Akros's backpack.
Just Aura
I'm gonna
clambers
pull
out.
out the crystal shank and hand it to Creed, saying, "I think this is it." I'm trying not to die from my allergies right now.
Fair.
Understandable.
what the bloody hell are you giving me this? What do you want me to do with it?
I think this might help you right now with what you're plotting. It might help us get Balder out, or I'm not even sure really. I never really thought about this item when I made it. I just saw I had some extra stuff to make a shank after making that scythe.
Oh, we're being raided. The bells are going off. Why is my raid sound alert not going off? Again, with the fucking sound alerts breaking. I'm getting tired of this.
Oh, the double shot up.
Double shut up.
All right. So what exactly does Glass Shank do?
So, from what Nez can tell you, is It is a piece of the crystal that is in
Hello
the
there.
scythe he made for Okros, and that the crystal rotted anything it touched. Thank you for the follow, Kari. Excuse me.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to just murder people. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to do that as a paladin. And poisoning someone definitely seems like that's bad for me to do. But clearly opening an extra dimensional portal. So that's also bad.
Here, I'm gonna let you guys plan it out while I quickly talk to our raiders. Welcome, raiders! It's me, your friend, Grim Hour Productions. If you don't know me, my name is Grim. I go by Burn. I'm a Dungeon Master of 20 years. I do variety streaming and all kinds of stuff. And, of course, I make D&D content for fun. Welcome in. This is Beyond Etheria Ashes. This is a post-apocalyptic... Fucking Irish, I'm going to kill you. This is a post-apocalyptic campaign setting where the gods have come back. They are real and they hate you. Our party is currently facing down a number of greater demons from another area, and they're currently trying to figure out what the fuck to do about it. So give me a follow. Perfect. Stay up to date. We have a Discord. We have a YouTube for our archive sessions if you want to keep up with that. Otherwise, by all means and intents and purposes, stick around. If you need to raid and run, that's fine. Get some water, get some hydration, get a stretch in. Thank you, Kari, for both. For myself, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Azzy, for coming in and bringing your community with you. It's always appreciated, of course. If I know Azzy from doing streams with her, as well as doing art for her, among some other things. And thank you all for being here. I have a new campaign being worked on that we're going to see about running, whether on every other Friday. So I have basically my Fridays filled, where every other week will be a different campaign, or doing it on Saturdays. It's all kind of in the air at the moment. It is going to be a reproduction of the Curse of Strahd. If you don't know what that is, Curse of Strahd is basically very, very reminiscent to Van Helsing, vampire hunter slaying, mystery solving kind of situation. I'm putting my own twist on it. I am bringing it into the folds of where it's supposed to be, which is within the Adventures of the Brothers Grimm. So that's going to be really fun. I may be reintroducing an old villain NPC from here into it, which the party would know as the Blight Piper. So if any of them are listening to this currently, they'll hear that name and it will make them quiver in their boots. But regardless, it's going to be a fun time. So we're going to kind of see what's going on. And yes, Curse of Strahd is a pre-built module. I'm basically just adding homebrew rules into it, giving it a few tweaks, adding some more NPCs, adding some different segments, writing out the campaign missions a little bit stronger, kind of giving it a little bit je ne sais quoi, so to speak. But yeah, this is session 39. These guys have been going for a year and a half in this campaign so far, so it's a lot of fun. I'm going to undeafen, get them back into it. Thank you all for being here. You can raid and run if you need to. Otherwise, stick around, find out. Irish, the last campaign was 38 episodes. So this one's kind of on par for going for the same pace, which I am fucking here for. But yeah, let's get back into the shenanigans, shall we?
Over 500.
Shit.
Because he's my width and about twice as tall, he said.
Okay, Mr. DM, I have a relevant question for this.
I
He's
am
muted,
listening.
definitely. Oh, no, he's back. Never mind.
So, he's midair above like a pit, like a hole in the ground, right?
The pit is just the picture. It is like a stone floor. He's
okay,
basically
stone floor. Okay, all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Never mind.
Okay, that's
Okay, so
all.
that isn't
What
actually a
No.
yawning portal to the
Even
Underdark.
though it's
no.
longer relevant,
It's
how
not
much
an
does
actual.
he weigh?
I'm trying to find a way to get
Isn't
him
that
down
just
without
like-
falling.
That circle's just that beam of light that's around him, basically, and then you were saying this
Okay.
is the portal.
Yeah. So
right?
the green circle is essentially the beam of light he's in the center of, surrounded by the 8 essentially green skinned 3-armed people. The purple box is the gate, the thing that the demons are behind. And it is not a fucking portal to the Underdark. That is just the pre-built base I'm using because I
Okay,
couldn't draw this in
alright.
time. So It is a
Floor.
it is a floor in this room. It is a floor.
All right, that's what we were trying to figure out because I thought it was a hole in the ground, and I don't think I was the only one, and I was trying to figure out how to stop him from
No.
falling to his
No, no,
death.
no. It is not a hole in the floor. It is a stone floor. He's basically being pulled up by the beam and is tethered by chains.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. So
Okay.
that solves a
You,
lot of
we
problems.
could literally dispel magic and drop them.
Are you sure about that?
I
I don't know.
I don't know if
Um,
you've got the qualifications to dispel a god level spell.
Also, I'm just gonna throw it out there. In most scenarios, the gods don't exactly take well to you trying to just turn their magic off.
Well, they can suck a dick.
All right, so this is a
Some of them do.
relevant question.
That's a
that-
quote for the wall.
Huh, I can actually use IRL work logic for this. So the way that these dudes are chained to the floor, they're providing the electricity for this thing. Is it daisy chaining or is it running in parallel lines?
No, they're
towards the floor?
chained in the sense of that they're not allowed to leave the spot they're in.
Well, I meant like the way they're providing power. Are they all doing it, or are they all providing individually?
Individual.
Hmm.
Like,
So we have to
imagine they're
do,
each an
like,
arc pylon, sort
It's
of.
okay.
Murder here.
Yeah. So no, we're not murdering them. We are not murdering these things.
Why does everyone want to kill things so bad?
So okay. I believe our best bet here is going to be at least try to disrupt the power supply. If we can disrupt the power supply, even if it's just one of these guys, then potentially it's just going to start to weaken it. That's probably going to be your safest bet here. No
Now, the
idea.
question is, will it weaken the barrier or will it weaken the portal?
It's
Yeah, the
that-
real question is, are they what's holding back those three demon?
How does Boulder appear to be doing in there? Does it look like he's suffering, or is he just
He's-
kind of?
His head is tilted back and there's light coming out of his eyes and mouth. He's not having a good time.
He's not feeling too good, Mr.
Yeah.
Stark.
So we got ads coming in about 10 seconds. So what we'll wind up doing is we'll let you guys plan for the 3 minutes while it runs. And then we'll go to BRB screen so no one misses anything. And then once we come back, we're gonna hit the ground running. Fair?
Sounds good.
You?
Cool. So we're gonna quick drop over to our BRB screen. And we'll be back in but a moment. You can chat with me. I'll be here. And I'll mute and deafen so I don't hear their plans, so it's a surprise. Yeah, a surprise. I love surprises. So what do you guys think they're gonna do? When's my Hooter stream? I mean, Azzy, I'm currently wearing a tank top. You know, it's one of those things of I already show more skin than you ever will. It's fine. Yeah, Azzy wins yours. Creed is not IT, he is mechanical engineer. Like his actual profession. Where is it now pushing? 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's the same idea they're having is like potentially disrupt the power, you know, maybe do something. I mean, it's a toughie, honestly. That's the thing. They think they're enemies, but they're not entirely sure. They could be, they could not be. They could just be controlling the energies going through them. It's kind of a hit or miss. So it's going to be a little bit of, you know, feeling it out, so to speak. other than the Norsemen. I mean, to be fair, Balder in this world is not exactly a nice guy. So if they do wind up taking him out, it's not gonna be a big loss. They've already killed 3 other gods. So what's nice? So you have Zeus, who's essentially creating genetically modified super soldiers with the genes of one of the most powerful wizards in the world. They enslaved most of humanity and pushed them out of the world. You have a bunch of gods who are causing extreme harm, famine, plague, death. A lot of the real big bad ones. Balder basically came in with companies of Ares soldiers, clear the whole thing out, continue taking penal soldiers and using them for experimentation, for whatever reason is beyond the knowing of the party or anyone else. So there is like, he's not the nicest person in this equivalence, because in actual mythos, Baldur's a pretty chill dude. So in this one, he's not by a stretch of the imagination. He's much closer to God of War Ragnarok's kind of mentality, where he's just very aggressive. So we'll see. I know who he is. I'm very well aware of who Baldur is. Irish, you have to remember, I'm a pagan priest, my friend. All right. Whoop. There we go. Now we're back. Why'd I make him bad, Irish? Fight me. Bad, it's an ire beholder, so what perspective do they have on it? So what perspective do you guys have on the gods that have been in the world so far?
They want us all dead.
I will say it's been a rather mixed bag. You know, Ares, he didn't seem so bad. Really cool with me murdering his sister, which I still think is kind of weird, but hey, family.
I missed Ares murdering his sister.
No, I murdered his sister.
Creed murdered his sister in the last campaign.
Which?
Ah.
Wow. Okay. Which sister?
Athena.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I stabbed her to death.
You fought her in Mortal Kombat, and he skewered her into a wall with the great sword.
Look, she tried to cheat.
I'm glad you said Athena, because that confused me for a second. I thought you were referring to Creed killing his own sister.
No.
Creed murdered Athena, stabbed her to death. She tried to cheat during the fair battle, though. So I'm good. Zeus, however, not happy about that one fucking bit. I can tell you that much. He did not appreciate me murdering his daughter.
Why were you fighting Athena? I'm so confused.
So quick recap for those who aren't caught up, and for Zoe as well, is last campaign, unfortunately all the gods were released through a event that Creed was a part of, along with the rest of the party that he was with, because they needed to release the gods to remove them, because they were currently trying to break back through and needing to release magic back into the world to discover high charity, which is where the prophets were, who were manipulating governments, purging out citizens, doing a lot of real nasty shit. So when the godfall happened, it turned the world into chaos. All the gods came back in these giant stone statues called titans, caused a lot of problems, wiped off an entire piece of a continent on their arrival, by the way, and just started causing real bad time. So as the assault that led them to high charity Creed led the assault going to Head Thunder, which led them to go to High Charity to kill the prophets. Athena was trying to kill a bunch of civilians, and a bunch of farmers in the town of I think it's North Durham. And so Creed, being
Like
the
Athena.
well, these are twisted versions. They are very angry for being put in a
These are
box.
literally Grimm's twisted fairy tales, only with gods instead of fairy tales.
Yeah. So they're very angry, very twisted, very malevolent. And so Athena was in charge of taking back Fulkar, which is where Creed saved an entire town from a zombie creating spider.
So
By
proud of that fight.
Gross.
he kicked a explosive barrel above his head and then hit under his shield as it detonated. It was pretty dope. But past that point, when he was leading the assault back to meet with Ares, because he thought he was going to have to fight Ares, Athena pushed back against him and the forces he had. He fought her in combat. She wound up cheating. His paladin senses went off, and he struck her down for breaking her own oath, which Ares was super mad about. Zeus was super pissed about. And then Zeus tried to obliterate him after they went to kill the prophets. And now this is 13 years later. All the party members are part of the resistance force, pushing back against said gods, who have essentially wiped out most of government societal situation. This is post-APOC at its finest. So everyone's a little twisted. The only few gods they've met that have been nice have been Arwen and Shiva. Everyone else has been kind of a shithead.
I don't even know who those two are.
Arwen is the Celtic king of the underworld, and Shiva is the king of the mountain in Hindu mythology.
We're not just talking Greek and Roman gods.
Yeah.
No.
No, multi-pantheon.
Multi-pantheon.
Like, multiple monthly. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is like the OG Zeus, by the way, in case
Yeah.
you didn't notice, but like the one where he murdered and ate his own brother.
Yeah,
Yep, I know.
and his own father. You know, that whole situation. This is the OG Zeus from the Titans manuals. Like, this is not a good time.
In my
OG
legit
Zeus
life,
of kill everybody, fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
basic.
I'm-
Yeah, that's correct, Cass. It is that
Not
Zeus.
necessarily in that order.
I
Not
don't
in
know, I
that
took
order.
Greek.
But
I
yeah,
took a Greek mythology class, so yeah. That's why I was like, I know who all these people are, but who the fuck are those two?
yeah. So, that's kind of where we are. So yeah, so that's why everyone's
as a
kind
bull.
of and is a bull. Yep. A lot of weird things happen in Greek mythology that raised a lot of questions about what they're on. But anywho, with the recap for those who are watching and listening, that's the very short recap of the whole shebangle. But that's why Baldur's not exactly on their high list of saving, because from what they've heard, he's not exactly a great person, and nor has he done a lot of good stuff since he's come back. So, my dear
I do
party.
remember, I think, hearing something about human experimentation in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we just smite him and kill him and leave him in his chains on the floor dead?
That's up to you. It's going to ask you what your plan is, or what you, if you're ready to begin.
Did we come up with the plan? So I was delivering groceries.
Something to do with Arcana checks.
Very good.
Ex Arcana.
Next,
I
Nez will
can't-
go first.
I can't roll, so can somebody roll for me? Or I'll just set this one out.
You're dozed from being in the haversack of haberdashery.
Oh, I'm in a backpack again.
You were, so you're coming out of it. You're fine.
You just got dumped in the floor behind Nez.
You're huff and go farts, apparently, according to Rexus.
Love that for
Indeed.
So,
I wanted to do an arcana on like the barrier of the portal.
sure. Hit me with that roll, sir.
second. My app is being difficult.
I got a nat 20,
Jesus.
so a 24.
All right.
Take a one, my friend.
All right. So, right off the get go.
Like a math deal, please, medium.
Hey, don't be ordering
Not
Mickey
on
D's
mute.
in here. Shush your face. Just get server muted. Nerd.
Oof.
I'll fix your face later. I don't want to know about your number threes. Get out of here. Get some Mickey D for us too. Yeah, get enough to share for the class. Anywho, Natty right off the get-go with the Arcana check. So, you, my dear artificer friend, as you're looking everything over, you can clearly see that the energy is being pushed into this beacon of light that Balder is currently stuck within. He does not look happy, and you can see that the energy is being passed across multiple what look to be primitive Tesla coils and being passed to the gate. The gate itself looks like it is made out of a amalgamation of technology and magic and metallurgy. So it's hard to tell where the magic ends, where technology begins, but you believe that that is the door. That if you were to somehow disrupt it, you could potentially close the door, but you could also potentially open it by accident. So it is possible to be disrupted, broken, mechanically broken, as you can kind of see where the piece of tech line up with the magic that's being used, but you're not sure how it works per se, so you can't be completely sold on what could or could not happen if you hit it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Basically, I go one way, it could open. I go another way with trying to get rid of it, it actually closes. Really quick and easy. But so I'll relate to the party. So everything's going over to this door over here. I'm pointing over there, and for the most part, it's a mix between technology and magic. And if we do disrupt it or destroy the technology, we have like a 50-50 on whether or not we open it or close it. It's not guaranteed that like actually breaking something will actually close it. It might actually open the door.
What if we didn't break it?
I mean, I'm not even completely sure right now.
If we stopped these fellows from providing power, would that work?
It's a possibility. If we stop powering it, it will close.
Can I run an Arcana check on the dudes who are casting magic and the kind of magic they're casting?
Sure. Roll them dice.
That's a very good one.
That's a 17.
So you can tell from what you're seeing is that these guys are, their magic they're using is a cross between sorcerer and warlock. It seems to be coming from one spot, but they are naturally born with it. The type of magic they're doing seems to be some kind of evocation, as they are pushing energy into the beacon, so to speak, into the beam of light. And you can clearly see that the energy they're pushing in is not just traveling into it, it's traveling up it, towards the hole in the sky. But that's what you get from looking at them and kind of feeling out the magic around them.
Right, I'm just thinking about that.
I like problems I can just throw my axe at. I'll be honest. It's a lot simpler.
I think I agree with Creed's original plan of trying to disrupt this whatever spell these things are casting. It appears to be channeling not only into the I'm sorry, was it the barrier or the portal?
We don't know.
We don't know.
That's the thing. Is so Creed's plan is just try to distract one of these guys and see what happens. Don't try to like stop him. I'm talking like, snapping your fingers in front of him. Hey, stupid. If we can distract one of them, oh sorry. If we can distract one of them, odds of finding out whatever exactly they're doing go up drastically.
Yeah. But I also might have an idea now with that crystal shank. But I'd rather go through with your plan first before trying it out.
So how do you want to try and distract them then, Creed?
Yeah, how do you want to distract him?
I have a question I want to ask. I'm trying to figure out how to say it while also abiding by my decision for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to
how,
point out that I'm not necessarily for the plan. I still think the most direct route is just to try and it will kill at least one of them.
how how strong do their heads look?
That's a question.
So
Physiologically speaking, from what you fought, your large list of monsters, creatures, and nightmares you have fought, their heads do not look as sturdy as other creatures you have fought. They seem to be hardy, but their bodies look very inefficient for the world you live in.
So I guess just try to narrow it down. They look like a mix between like your stereotypical orc and a Vortigaunt.
Kind of.
All right. So the reason I'm asking is, how much of their head is eye?
Like 60% of it.
Like
Like
it's
it's
still
a
gonna hurt.
it's a big ol' eye in the front of it.
That's what a Vortigaunt is. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to look it up. You'll keep saying it.
Sorry, it's at Half-Life. So I have an idea, but I don't think I should be the one to do it because it's really mean. We just go up
What
and
is it?
smack one of them in the back of the head.
I mean, I'll do it.
That sounds like a good Okros
I guess
job.
if we're not trying to kill them, it's not really an Okros
That's
job.
why I
He's
don't
gonna
want
avoid
Okros
really-
to do it though. Okros
Yeah, I
gonna
was
smack
gonna
with the back
say,
of the
I
head. It's
might
gonna separate from their body.
accidentally knock their head off.
You might accidentally turn them to paste.
You'll have one of those awkward like comedy movie bits where he's like trying to put the head back on right, just so it doesn't fall back off. Oh, but my apologies. I appear to have done that a little too hard.
Or we'll do it.
Your alien physiology is frailer than I expected.
We need to get Okros' staff of gentle bonking.
Yeah, I'm not. The recommendation is not to hit him too hard, but just enough to like, let my phrase, give him to blink.
You're trying to break their concentration. That's the phrase you're looking for. You're trying to break their concentration.
Hitting him in the back of the head is going to be the least amount of is the thing you put in the chat. I'm getting away from that gift. My God, man.
Could we not achieve this just by shoving them really hard, though?
They're chained to the ground and they're sending electricity out. I really don't think you want to try to mess with where that power is going outward towards.
Okay, fair.
Besides, to do that, really, you got to be in either side of them where their hands are. Whereas if you're just smacking them like on the back of the head, you can angle yourself away, so then nothing's there.
You can't shove someone from behind them? I'm sorry, what?
I mean, they're sending energy out from the front. Plus, they're chained to the floor, so I don't know how much pushing them's gonna do. I didn't think to ask, but I assume the chains are probably pretty tight.
There you can see that they are relatively tight in the sense that like if they stood up, because they're kneeling, if they stood up, that they could still have a little bit of movement out and in. But like they can't put their arms above their head. If they're kneeling, they could probably do it, but it's enough for them to do the movements they require to do their spell. It's not like they're straight up chained to the ground like execution style. It is like there's not allowed to leave that spot.
Yeah.
So the chains are, I would say, are about 4 feet long on
Alright.
each arm.
Would it be
That
smarter
felt like a
to throw something at their face instead of hit them, so that we can do it from a like distance?
I mean, that's also an option. That's also breaking concentration.
Sounds like
Preferably hit
pocket
them in the
stab.
eye.
That's a bad idea. You know, I'll throw a ration bar at the back of one of their heads.
You're just gonna throw a snack bar at them.
Yeah.
You know what? That fucking
Why are we doing it at the back of their head and not trying to hit them in the eye?
because you have to be in front of them to hit him in the eye.
Because
there's
the
a beam
magic
of light.
would probably incinerate
I-
the snack bar as well.
Yeah,
True.
I want to point out,
Yeah.
by the way, that if we hit him in the eye, I don't know about you, I hate getting poked in the eye. And again, these
Because
dudes
you
are
love being
sending.
hit in the back of the head so much more.
I mean, like these dudes are sending energy out. If someone came up and poked me in the eye, I'm hitting them as hard as I can.
Okay, throw a ration bar at the back of their head then.
Roll me athletics if you're gonna throw the ration bar.
Oh boy, that's fine. I got a +7.
You'll be fine, I guess.
That's a 25.
Jesus Christ. So
Just beat him in the back of the head with a ration bar.
you're all talking about the plan as you just see Creed pull his satchel around his side, pull out a ration bar, and just bean the first one he sees in the back of the head. So let me get a concentration roll done really quick.
I need you to know, Creed, that after this is all over, I expect you to retrieve that ration bar.
The ration bar is standard issue military
Look,
gear.
I'll be honest. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm like 90% certain my ration bars are older than all of you.
Yeah, I have
Well,
mine still too.
No,
Half the
you-
time I forget what I have in my bag.
You misunderstand me. Like I'm
His are from the
talking.
previous campaign.
Yeah.
I'm talking like chronologically older than all
Exactly.
of
You
you.
have to retrieve it. It's a collector's item at this point.
Oh my god, I never even thought about that. I could have been making bank. There's weirdos today who buy that stuff. It's like, yeah, here's a jar from the 1860s. And someone's like, I want that.
I want that.
Oh man,
bar.
I could have made. I
You
could
just
have made
threw
some
like
money.
money at this dude, basically.
I didn't realize that.
I've been waiting for you to realize that since we started this campaign a year and a half ago. Anyway, so you roll a 25 to hit this man in the back of the head with a pre-Godfall ration bar that is older than everyone in the room. And you peel him back of the head as he kind of like slumps over from this brick, essentially, hitting him. And he just goes, he shouts in some kind of guttural language as the lightning kind of stops. And as it stops, you hear Balder scream. And you see, well, let me do this. Roll me perception.
Who?
Creed.
That's a 17, actually. Never mind. Sweet. Thank you, Dice, for actually rolling the correct way for once.
Amazing. So, as you hit him with the bar, you see the lightning dispel from his hands as you break his concentration for a moment. You hear Balder scream, and then you see the blue demon, the one that had the body of a griffin. You see him smile as you do it. Not enough that anyone else can see it, but just enough that you notice it. You catch it as the momentary smirk crosses its beak before it goes back in to try and break through the barrier.
Creed is going to like lean over towards Nez. Was that good or bad? Did you see
What
anything
good or bad?
happen?
I only
didn't know we
noticed you hit the guy in the back of the head with a ration bar.
Were you not watching the portal?
I was, but I didn't see anything happen.
Okay. And then he's like gonna lean upright. And he's gonna lean over towards Etheria now on his other side.
Darian, what's your snake eye see?
Did that scream sound bad to you?
Define
I
what a
wanna
good
try
scream sounds like.
I don't know.
I wanna
It sounded
try.
like it was more. I don't know, not being shocked. Use the conduit to open a portal. You're the medical person.
You're speaking gibberish, sir. Collect your thoughts.
Ugh.
Did you just ask what a good scream sounds like?
Forget I asked.
Oh
It is
my.
went back up.
It's just like Aura and Okro's just being like, oh ha ha.
My brain went there. I'm sorry.
Someone's
Okay,
brain was going to.
Mr. Blue Man is not happy. Well, apparently he enjoyed that quite a bit. That's probably a bad thing.
I want to throw a ration bar at the back of the other one's head.
Which one? There's a total of 7 more, unless you want to hit the same one in the back of the head, which I would not recommend.
Oh, different one. I want to hit the one in the middle.
Okay. Roll me athletics to hit another one in the head with a ration bar.
Can someone roll my athletics for me?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Fine, I got it. Fucking, you son of a mother. I got it. I'm doing it.
You made Grim do work.
Yeah, I'm already doing work, and now you're making me do more work.
I can full appreciate if you want.
I got it. It's more of me just bitching because she's being a goober. Let's see. Your athletics is a +6. Let's see if you fuck this up. You got a 23. I hate you. So you hit.
Rolled it.
I know it's because I'm rolling against myself. It always happens. You hit another one in the back of the head, and it kind of hits them. They turn and look at you for a second, and then go back to what they were doing, kind of yelling at the one that faltered to return. And as the one that faltered returns to casting the energy, you hear Balder stop screaming, and the blue demon seems unfazed.
So, I was gonna say, Creed was watching this stuff. He's watching up there now. But so he didn't seem to care about that.
I mean, it's hard to tell what his expressions are. But you couldn't see like
He has resting bird face.
Thank you.
He likes it when Boulder screams.
He's got resting bitch face, so you can't really tell if he felt good or bad about the lightning or the charge being returned to the beam, so to speak.
Bird face.
Bird face. Whatever.
Yes.
It's Zeech
Wait,
demon. I
we
don't
had
care.
a character. I have a question. So with my wild shaping, I can wild shape into any creature I've seen, yes?
Yes, up to a
I
certain
don't think
CR
those
rating.
count as creatures.
It's up to a specific
it's
CR
like-
rating.
Damn it, so I can't wild shape into a gold dragon.
The gold dragon is CR 23. Your max is 2.
Well, shit.
Now, if you had like a scroll of true polymorph or something along that line, that's a different story. But wild shape does have a CR cap.
Oh, well, that's dumb. I wanted to be a dragon.
Oh no, I'm so sorry for you that you want to turn into a dragon and can't. I am so sorry for you.
All right, so
in terms of where the blue demon is there like, I know I could just be lost. Is there a shield or whatever between us and him?
Yes, essentially the demons and you, there's an invisible wall in the gateway that's stopping them from just coming
Demons as
through
in
and beating you.
plural?
There's 3 of them, yes.
yeah. Okay, so no, I gotta try to figure this out. So it seems to like it when
When Baldur screams.
Well, yes, that's rather obvious. The blue demon liked it when Creed hit one of these dudes. Didn't seem to care when Aura did it.
I think he more so got a kick out of the fact that Baldur was screaming because you took out one of the things. I didn't manage to take out one of the things, so he didn't phase him because nothing happened.
Well, no, because we both distracted one of these dudes and caused a
I
break.
never
in the
stopped.
power.
Yeah,
Well,
the
no,
one
no.
she
I never
hit didn't
stopped.
stop.
Oh, he didn't stop.
He
Okay.
didn't stop.
I thought he did. Okay,
Somehow
so
he outrolled a 23.
all right, so we stop all these guys. Hmm.
I think we break their concentration. We kill Balder.
But again, there's no guarantee for what's going to happen if we do that.
Well, try and break another one's concentration and see if Balder screams.
I'm going to quickly run out of ration bars doing that.
Yeah. Who says we have to throw a ration bar?
Yeah,
I
he's trying to save his money.
should have
no.
held on to some of those fucking copper things. I should have held on to some of those copper pieces.
All right. Look, I see wooden boxes in here.
Yes.
Do they appear closed? They appear open.
They're closed, but they look like storage containers. I mean, you can pilfer them if you wish.
I think what would be down here that would. What would you store in a room like this?
That's a good
Right.
question.
Like,
Definitely.
I feel like
That
if
would
you're gonna
probably
have
be more-
a big room where you torture someone to open a portal to another dimension, I feel like you don't put anything important down there. Just my personal thoughts.
It looks like
What
I'm
if it was
standing
not
next to him
originally
anyways.
built as a torture chamber, but was originally built as something else, but the person was deceived? Oh my. What?
That's a good idea. We're gonna overcheck the crates to from our perspective, the left over here.
Okay. So, as you basically walk over to these crates, you can see the 3 demons are still in the gateway, kind of knocking on the invisible barrier, trying to break through it. And these crates all have different markings on them. They seem to be disseminated by a date, a world, and a number of items brought back. There seems to be some other symbology on it, but you can't really tell what it means per se. They're in the shape of what look to be a diamond with some kind of symbol in the center. And each crate seems to have a different one or multiple of them.
Are there any significant warning labels on the first crate?
Not that you can understand. If you knew their sorting system, maybe. But to you, it just looks like a date, a name, and then some weird diamonds with symbols in them.
Can I open the crate?
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I was going to need a pry bar or something.
I mean, you got enough simple tools in your bag that you could probably figure something out. You also have your hatchets, your throwing axes.
I used one of the hand axes to try and pry open the lid and see inside.
You pry open the lid, and inside looks to be armor. Strange. Green. It's flat. It seems that if you wore it, it would cover the shoulders like your pauldrons on your plate armor, and then just a almost square triangle cut piece on your front and back. The front seems to be multiple indented solid pieces of some type of metal, where the back seems to be slotted for ease of movement of the person who would wear it. On the right shoulder seems to be a number, a skull, then another number. On the left one seems to be chevrons, much according to what your own ranking is. And there seems to be these scratch marks, and almost like it's been used, where you can see the silver color of the metal underneath the green paint.
Just finish opening the crate. See what this is.
Yeah, I mean, you pull out this, what looks to be chest armor or full upper body armor. Next to it seems to be a helmet that has strange wording written on it in this very angular script that you really can't make out. It has this, what you can remember of what Cactus told you, these are called cigarettes. These look like really shitty cigarettes, but cigarettes regardless, that are strapped to the side of the helmet.
Am I standing next to him while he's doing this?
Yes.
Hold on, I have to look at the thing.
And Creed, as he's thinking, as you're picking this up, it has a lot of metal in it, but it doesn't seem very heavy. Like your plate mail doesn't have super thick metal on it, but is extremely dense. And you know the weight. But with this, it seems to have better thickness, but it's less dense and seems to protect from more, according to the scarring that's on it. Beneath that, it just seems to be fatigues, clothing.
Can I try to read that helmet?
Go for it. What do you want to do?
Oh, I have a feat, Eyes of the Runekeeper. I can read all writing.
Oh, very good. I mean, there you go. Like, fuck yeah.
What do you want to try? Well, actually.
Well, I apparently have this feat that lets me read a writing. It's like dope, awesome, fuck yeah.
I thought I had it. I couldn't remember. I had to go looking. They put it
So-
in a weird spot in my character
I don't want
sheet.
to tell you this, guys. I don't think we're the protagonists, sir. I think it's Etheria. Like Broken doesn't read anything. Are we the side characters of our own campaign?
Darian turned everyone into a side character. Jesus. So Darian, you read the wording on the helmet, and it says Cadia stands across the brow. What the fuck is Cadia? Who is to say?
I'll be honest, I was expecting you to immediately make a joke about that, and he punish you for the joke you immediately made about that.
Oh, I'm not making a joke, and I'm also not telling you what it says. I just wanted to read it for myself.
I know, I was expecting you.
Damn. But yeah, it just says Cadia stands across the brow of Darian.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Free can't read it. Not gonna care about that right now. He's gonna move the crate out of the way. Go to the next one.
So that first one had a diamond on it that seemed to have a number 1 in it. This one seems to have a number 2 and then another diamond that has an eyeball. Like an eye looking at it, so to speak.
All right. Let's go ahead and open it up.
You open it up, and it seems to be the shittiest weapon you've ever seen. You can't make heads or tails of it. It is a mishmash of metal parts, nuts, bolts, welded plates, jagged metal pieces, multiple bayonets welded to the front of it. It is massive, it is heavy, it is unwieldy, and when you pick it up, it is hard for you to hold. It is incredibly dense for what it is, and it has what looks to be a few of its magazines and munitions inside the box in it. And these magazines have these gigantic fucking rounds in it that are easily 1.5 inches across. And it's just the magazines are rusted, dented, shittily painted, scratched the fuck. The rounds look like they're not even well maintained. Like, you're afraid that if you drop these, they're gonna go off.
Yeah, Creed's gonna very carefully put it back in the box and try to move that box out of the way.
As you put the large contraption back into the box, you see that there is a almost square vessel, I guess is the best way to say it, some kind of container that has a green blob that has multiple little mushrooms coming off of it. And it's in a closed container.
A green blob with mushrooms coming off it. First of all, not opening this thing, I can tell you that, without any doubt.
Is the green blob with mushroom something I would be able to recognize?
I don't know, maybe. This is the what's in the box show with Beyond Etheria Ashes. So if you want to take a swing at identifying what the fuck's in the box, by all means.
Yeah, I'll take a swing at it. What do I roll?
That would be nature. A nature
That would be
check.
what?
Nature.
Nature. I
Druid
heard
person.
mid-share. I'm like,
Yes, mid share. You're gonna write me a hedge fund roll.
I
Where-
got a 16.
Interesting strategy, but okay.
You got a 16.
Yeah.
So you take a look at the vessel, kind of peering over Creed's shoulder as you're both looking at it. You can tell that it is a blob, and it has mushrooms on it.
Mm-hmm.
The mushrooms are growing out of said blob. The blob is amorphous and seems to just kind of sit. It looks very much like a lichen patch or a lichen mass you've seen in the wild before, because again, Druid, you've lived among places with the mushrooms. Just that these mushrooms look weird. They don't look like your normal mushrooms. They don't have normal caps. They look almost like a cross between an oyster mushroom and a trumpet mushroom. They're very odd looking, very weird colorations, different sizes, different growth patterns. And as you're kind of looking at it, you swear that it blinks at you. The blob does.
Mm.
But
Well, that thing just blinked at me.
but for some reason, you have a unrelenting feeling of that you must protect the mushroom.
So did I just rip it out of Creed's hands?
I mean, he's not holding the vessel. The vessel's in the crate.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up the vessel and hug it to me, if best I can without hurting it.
I mean, it's a pretty hefty, some type of clear material vessel. So you're clutching it to your chest as you just have this unrelenting feeling of must protect the mushroom.
Okay, I'm gonna like hold it and like turn away from the guys and shake my head no and be like, no, don't touch it. I have to protect it.
Roll me a wisdom save.
Is it me?
You.
Okay, I do that. I have a +8, so hopefully the dice is nice to me. It's not. I got a 13.
Yeah. All right. So
That's not a good sign. I just want to point that
No,
out.
it's not.
as you're holding the mushroom close, your mind saying you must protect the mushroom, you hear a voice kind of whisper through your head. Oi! Keep me safe. Put me in the ground somewhere, and we'll grow real big and strong, and I'll keep you safe in return. So says Gorbag Calaster of Teeth. I am the reincarnation of the one and only. Blessed by Gork and Mork himself.
Good old Gorbaz.
You got in a fist fight with?
Different one.
Okay. But it's one of those orcs from the bar that night.
No.
No,
This
different
is-
campaign.
This is a different orc.
And
I know.
does the name?
I
Sorry,
missed
my AirPod died, so I missed some of what you said.
No, these were a different campaign.
But does he have a name?
His name is
Gorbaz.
Gorbaz. Gorbaz, the
Gorbaz?
Collector of Teeth, also known as the Keeper, blessed by Gork and Mork.
I'm gonna look at Creed because Creed seems to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Creed, why is my mushroom telling me he's Gorbaz, or the reincarnation of?
Okay, I have to ask this. Am I allowed to field this question however I want?
Yes.
Creed just gonna throw. What the bloody hell are you talking about? He just looked inside, grabbed the thing, and turned away.
Yes, and I hear voices in my head, and he's telling me he's Gorbaz, the keeper of teeth, or whatever, and he needs to be planted somewhere.
Good night,
You
Irish.
picked up a damned container with a weird pattern of green goo and a mushroom growing out of it, and you're concerned about the fact you're hearing voices.
His name is Gorbaz. Who the hell is Gorbaz, Creed?
Out of character, if I hand the Gorbaz blob to Creed, will it whisper to him too?
Nope.
I ain't taking it.
Nope. It would not
I
whisper
ain't
to
taking
him.
it. I don't know who the bloody hell that is. Are you just hearing voices?
What's the second half of Gorbaz's thing after the teeth? He's orc.
He's blessed by Gork and Mork.
He says he's blessed by Gork and Mork. Creed, who is this and why is he a mushroom now? You seem to know everything and everybody, so
Darian,
No.
you talk to the person who's the doctor. And so, how many more boxes we got?
We got one more
pretty mu-
crate.
Yeah, we're going to go for the last one to hope for the best here because I want nothing to do with that.
whisper to Gorbaz.
Look, it's not my problem that the sea elf is now hearing voices in her head. That's not my problem at
And you're
all.
not making it mine. Thanks. Have a
You're
good
the
day.
doctor.
May as well just call me Randy Orton.
Yeah, a doctor, not a head doctor.
Oh, you missed a perfect opportunity to reference classic Star Trek there.
I never watched classic Star Trek.
Damn it, Creed! I'm a physical doctor, not a mental doctor.
Well, I'm gonna go sit in the corner and talk to Gorbaz and see if he'll tell me more things.
Very good. You go talk to the mushroom in a box. Okay, Creed, do you open the third crate?
Yeah, we're open to the last one.
All right, so as you go to the third crate that's in front of you, you see that it has 3 diamonds. It has an eye, a number 3, and then it has this weird kind of star symbol in the third one.
Please don't be something else like the talking goo. We're gonna try to open it.
I mean, it's easy enough to open. And it seems that it is full of these weird, almost crunchy, S-shaped things. They're little...
No.
Nobody else touch anything.
Please tell me I did just open a box full of packing peanuts.
You absolutely did. But
I guess Creed
there,
can, like,
there is a note
carefully-
on top
Oh.
of the packing peanuts
Ooh.
that says, reminder, these do not go in drains or water dumps. Item is to be kept within the peanuts at all times unless being used. The item is in the box beneath the peanuts. Do not eat the peanuts.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm sorry to put everything in pause. Your wording is oddly specific. Has that been an issue that's been brought up in the past? Has someone tried to actually eat packing peanuts before?
It's a literal cautionary measure on packing peanuts manufacturing today.
Really?
Yes.
Because they're called peanuts, so people are stupid. Sorry.
I know, but
Never
I was
underestimate human stupidity.
I was wondering if this was a case that, like, you have had to leave this note for someone, and I was curious on how they made it this far in life.
I laughed that hard because I've seen that warning at work.
So yeah, Creed's gonna, like, carefully dig his hand through and find out what's in here.
You push your hand down through the peanuts, and they make a horrible screeching noise when they rub against each other. Very tiny, squeaky, uncomfortable sound. As your hand reaches what feels like a handle of something. And the handle is large. Like, when you go to grasp it, you have issues wrapping your hand around it. Like, it's... Whatever is in here is significantly sized. Don't take that out of context. I'm watching you, Angel, and everyone else in the chat. I know where your brains are going immediately. Shush your face. It is a handle,
All right.
nothing else.
So
You know nothing. You know nothing.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull it out.
That's what she said. You pull it out. Thank you, Rexus. That was perfect timing. So you pull out the device, and as you do, it emerges out of the packing peanuts. And as you pull out, it is this large, almost cylinder, like it's a cylinder with a big fucking handle on the top of it. And fuck you, Zoe. I was in the middle of talking.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
It is a large cylinder with a handle on top of it. The cylinder seems to be about, I would say, 2.5 feet tall and probably about 10 inches wide. It has weird writing all over it. It looks to be in very. If you could understand what a warning label is or instructions, it's kind of written in that, where it's written in little blocks in between these rings that are closed on this device.
Does it have two similar handles on the bottom of it?
No, it has a handle only on the top to basically lift and carry. And it looks like, based on the slots around the handle top, is that you are supposed to hold the bottom and twist it and then do something with it. Whatever it is, you don't fucking know.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
Darian, since apparently you can read everything, I'm not sure if that came across. There was a very annoyed eye roll for that.
I could feel
It
it.
came across.
It came across.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Very important.
Very important. Darian, do you read the writing on this device?
No.
Okay.
Question: Is character cooking.
Yeah.
Is Gorbaz small enough to fit in my backpack?
Yes. At his current state, he is small to fit in your backpack.
Okay, I'm gonna put Gorbaz in my backpack and rejoin the peoples.
Very good. So, Darian, you don't read the inscription. Darian says no, I guess. Figure it out amongst yourselves.
Would you please read this?
Yes. All right, this time I read it.
You insufferable ass.
You read it from top down. The first line is I'm sorry, I'm just getting over that whole no, please, fine. Just perfect. The first line is MK.7 Melta device. Second line, handle with care, explosive. Third line is instructions. And I have to get myself in position to do these instructions correctly. So bear with me.
Hold on. Do I need to be writing this down, or can I get this in writing somewhere?
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. These are the instructions that follow. I have to kind of get myself prepped because I didn't realize anyone was going to be able to fucking read this, so I have to read what I have. According to the Mechanicus Magos himself, to initiate the device, you must twist the handle and count to 3. Not 5, not 2, but 3. Upon 3, cast the device upon the heretical abomination in front of you, and then run away. After 5 seconds, the device will erupt into the solar plasma coiled induction system that is, of course, the holy Melta of Antioch. May God be with ye. May the Omnissiah bear your presence. May the God Emperor have you speedy return. No returns, no warranty. Do not touch. That is all.
Creed.
Yes.
Put it gently back in the box, and I have to emphasize gently.
What did it say?
Sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
What did it say? What does it say?
There's a lot to read here, but the gist of it is that it's some kind of large radius explosive device.
I mean, that seems oddly useful right now.
Let me reiterate large radius, as in you don't want this going off anywhere near us. Put it back in the box, please.
We're near an extra-dimensional portal with what appear to be new gods we've not even heard of before on the other side, attempting to break through. And to get through, they've managed to take hostage, prisoner, tool, another god whom they are sending electrical current through and using him to open the portal. If there was ever a time to use something like that, a weapon such as this, I would say now is the time.
All right, well, I'm not going to pretend to understand what it means, but I'll tell you again the gist of it. It's something called a Melta device, and I air quoted when I said Melta. And it says very oddly specifically that you twist the handle and count to 3. I think you're intended to throw it. I hope you're intended to throw it. Please throw it if you do this.
What is a melter?
I don't fucking know, man. I'm just reading what you asked me to.
I mean, I would assume there's some sort of definition included.
There's not. Only warnings and praises to someone called the God Emperor.
Who's the God Emperor?
Again, don't know. Reading box. You decide. I held up my fingers 1, 2, and 3 as I said that.
I have an idea. Nez! I found something weird. I also love it, like, we're just having these casual conversations while Balder is just up there being tortured.
Yeah. It's something's going on with, Balder and this portal and the demons.
Sir,
this is far more interesting than all of that. Okay?
I need you to just keep suffering up there for like another, another hour or so. We'll be with you as soon as we can.
Yeah, it's just like, all right. So I know we have these demons.
Fuck that god in particular.
I mean, I guess you could say, he's being held captive by the task he's currently handling. I guess you also say he's not really going anywhere. He's a little tied up right now. I got no more of this. Those are the only ones I can think of. Yeah, so I want to make Nez look at this thing. And I guess, are you coming over, Mr. Nez?
Oh, I ran over. You said you found something weird.
Out of context, Graham, I'm going to need that writing either sent to me or something so that I can read it out to Nez completely if he asks, because I'm going to read it out completely.
So I can read it out to him.
Creed is going to carefully put it back in the box, but what he's going to do is when Nez runs over, Creed's going to like stick his arm out and stop him. Like you do with a child who sees free ice cream.
Yeah.
And you, Nez, I want you to understand, apparently you can't just screw with it.
What do you mean by that?
Darian, he won't tell me what it says, but apparently there's the words on it say it's dangerous. And basically a doomsday weapon of some sort.
I didn't refuse to tell you what it said. I edited it so you'd understand.
No, I have what you told me, and you didn't tell me shit.
Exactly, that's what you understand.
I love how your complaint is, I edited what I told you. You didn't tell me anything. I know. That's why I'm putting it back on you. Because you didn't tell me anything.
Exactly. You should have gave this to Nez a long time ago, or put it back in the box like I told you.
I did! I put it back in the box.
Oh no.
And then I called over the person who's gonna fuck
Oh,
with
I
it.
thought you were still holding it. I missed that part. my bad.
No. I said I put it back in and called Nez over.
I
And
missed the
now-
first half of that. I was doing something
And
else.
yeah,
Apologies.
it's now Nez's problem. So I
It's
called
not
over
Ness's
somebody.
problem.
I called over someone who knows what they're doing. Look,
Thank
look,
you.
I am I am the caveman smashing the shiny metal brick for the metals inside of it. You're the one who understands it's a cell phone, okay? I can't think of a better comparison than that.
That's a good comparison.
I'm sorry.
close, honestly.
Until like in world, like a month ago, I didn't even know how to fire a gun, buddy. Like, I don't know what you want me to do here. I have no concept of how this
Well,
thing
clearly,
works.
you did what I wanted you to do here, so you're good.
And again, I called over someone who clearly understands what they're doing, even if apparently their dub stat was wisdom. So, Nez, do your thing.
Well, I'm gonna use the helping hands
Uh-huh.
to I'm going to grab it out of the box, but because I said that it needs to be carefully done, I'm going to slowly pull it out to take a look at it and then ask Adarian what it said.
So you use your helping hands that still have little leather gloves on them still from your last expenditure. So they have little tiny leather hands. And you lift out this device. You can easily tell how big it is, how heavy it is. It is easily 20 kilos. It is a big, beefy boy. And as you're holding it, Adarian kind of recites to you, again, the very important points that were on that label. Even I'm skipping over a lot of the fluff that was written in that would be there normally. So it's mostly turn handle, count to 3, and throw, and then run.
What else made?
And that it's apparently a melt weapon and causes some kind of supernova heated activity in the area. What those words mean to you, who's to fucking say? But those are the words that are listed on it.
I think we should keep this handy in case we need to use it.
Ness starts looking over it. All right, who's gonna carry? Who's gonna carry the 20 kilogram bomb? Who's just gonna carry this on their backs?
You know,
Context.
it's funny you should mention that. If only we had someone incredibly strong with us.
Out of context, I wish instead of telling him to put it back in the box, I told him to give it to Nez and tell him not to play with it. That would have been so much better.
Or we could pack it on fucking Lucifer.
That would probably be the absolute worst idea.
I don't want to put the explosive device in the robot with a flamethrower built in it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, you know how they added the portable hell bomb and Helldivers? That's what I feel like would happen with this device in Lucifer, is someone would knock into the handle and turn it on by accident because you're trying to like give them a stim, and all of a sudden you hit their detonate button and now it just runs screaming into the night before it explodes.
Yeah, we don't want to blow Lucifer up. I feel like Nez would cry.
I think that'd be the least of your worries. If that device got armed and you were next to it.
Now that I've actually gotten to see it, and he actually explained it, I am going to carefully put it back in the box because I don't want it to go off right now while we're dealing with this. And trying to figure out what's going on. I do want to say, since the guys are really just focused on, casting at Balder, I do want to go up towards the portal and take a look at it.
The gate, yeah.
Yeah, like the gate, and
Okay.
actually investigate closely more of like how it's put together with the technology side that I could see from far away.
Cool. So you walk up closer to the gate. Give me a wisdom check. Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Mm-hmm. So you go to the gate. You're
like
fine.
If I get like right here.
No. You walk up to the gate.
I
You're
get up to the
inspecting
gate.
it. Yeah. And then give me a wisdom save.
I'm just checking one thing before.
Oh, Bear is being stupid.
It happens.
I did notice that
Flash.
it's
So
like a slight
16.
delay.
16. You begin to hear words again in your head. Not as loud as they were previously, but enough. As you hear, my champion, you're here. It's good to see your face. As you can see that the blue demon has turned and is looking at you from the side of its profile, as like its one eye is looking directly at you through the gate. He goes, well, it's so good to finally see you, Ness. You being someone who lives in entropy, it'd be wonderful if you could simply open the door, please.
Let the demon in.
You see, it's terribly crowded in here, and we, the three of us, would like to enjoy the pleasantries of another area. You are holding the door closed on me. I don't appreciate that. So, if you could allow change to happen freely, like the good scientific mind you are, and open the door.
How am I allowed to respond on this because of my role?
You're able to respond as you see fit. They're like, you don't have any influence on you. It's words in your brain.
I just wanted to like check before I, you know, actually reply.
No, you're being spoken to by a changer of fate.
Well, I'm not really sure if I do want to open this door yet, because you keep saying that you need to come out, but I don't know how I feel about this portal that you're behind.
But don't you see? Change is important. Change is needed. Decay, rebirth, shifting of law, of order, of rules, all necessary. Think about where you've been the past 13 years. You've been hunted, experimented on, left for dead, found, burned to a crisp. I can see the scars on your face bear the same as mine, and yet here you stand, holding back change. Why? Just open the door. Open the door, Nez.
Change doesn't always mean good, though.
Open the door, Nez. I see his voice becomes darker and more aggressive as he's trying to call out to you. And you can feel those whispers becoming tendrils that they're trying to sink into your head, but you're able to shake them off for the time being.
Enough of that. I'm just going to shrug at him and walk back to the party to get away from the door right now. To not be by him as closely.
Very good. All right. Now what are you all doing?
Hanging out with the others that are not Nez.
Very good. Okros, what are you doing? Looking pretty?
I'm pretty much looking around. I rolled a wisdom check to see, an investigation check rather, to see if I can see anything, but I rolled a 10, so I figured I wouldn't mention that because that was kind of useless.
I mean, you basically see all the details you see further. You get a little bit more detail about what you're looking at around you, but nothing sticks out that you haven't already noticed. Adarian?
Got nothing, Chief.
Nothing. Mr. Creed? Anything else that you wanna do here?
So, when Nez is talking to Mr. Change Your Fate,
Mm-hmm.
is he speaking out loud?
He was. The bird was not.
As soon as he hears like Nez talking, his head's going to snap around.
Ogros would also be concerned about that.
Darian is indifferent to people talking to themselves.
Adarian talks to himself in a third person.
Gray is going to get up and immediately head over to Nez. Who are you talking to?
One of the people on the other side of the gate was trying to talk to me through my head, and I did not care to listen to him anymore, and I couldn't actually focus on looking more into the gate. But I can tell you that they do want to definitely come out. I don't think that would be good.
Whatever they want, we can't allow it to happen. Is Nez still carrying the Melta?
No, it's in the box.
Okay.
No, I put it back in the box.
All right. So they have to be stolen. How heavy did you say it was?
The gate?
The Melta.
20 kilo.
It's 20 kilo in weight, about 2.5 feet long, 10 inches wide.
Can Creed carry it?
With difficulty, but you can carry it. Like, moving, it's fine. Throwing, it's a different story. It's like a 40-pound dumbbell, essentially, if you want to think of it that way.
As I have a... He's going to, like, lean in closer. I have a question. Could that object take it all out?
I'm curious if it would. I don't fully understand what some of that's meant by how strong it possibly could be. But, since the directions and it has a big warning label, I'm guessing it could do some real damage to this room. If not, at least blow up the whole room off of a guess.
Yeah. I just get a guess here. Are the odds better? It closes the connection on our side, or does it open it?
See, that's why I went up to the gate, because I really wanted to look at it a bit more, but trying to focus on that while being talked to by them is not the easiest thing. And I really wanted to look more in to see if damaging that would actually close it or possibly let them out.
As you are talking amongst yourselves, you see that there is a missing sound from the room. The thumping from the demons trying to break through the barrier has stopped. And all three of them are standing, watching you talk. On a different note, Thank you, Carson, for the 69 biddies. Happy Friday. Units on fire, so I can't stay. Fun fact for today, sloths can hold their breath longer than sloths.
Huh?
That's what she wrote. Sloths can hold their breath longer than sloths.
Well, there are multiple breeds of sloths, so I imagine there are some breeds that can hold their breath longer than some other breeds.
Dolphins. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yes.
Okay.
That was some this floor is made of floor moment.
Yes, quite. Thank you for the bits, Cars, and thank you for the fun fact. I hope you have a good night. I know the unit's on fire, but you're going to do great, sweetie. We love you. Anyway, the demons are watching you with intent, curious, anticipating your next movement.
You know what, Nez? I have an idea. Tell your friends that I always endeavor to be hospitable. And Creed's going to make his way back over to the crate with the melta inside of it. And he's going to reach inside. And he's going to pull it out. And he's going to head back over with it.
So, Creed, as you walk towards the gate, you hear the voice of Max in your head. Creed, I don't think this is a good idea. I can hear them. They're angry, conniving, hungry. I don't know how long I can hold back those thoughts.
Oh, you see, Max, the way I see it is one way or another, this needs to be ended.
As much
So,
as I believe you, is this the right way? Is it worth the risk? You've dealt with one godfall. These seem even worse than those that you have here.
As I understand it, this will wipe out everything in here. Ends the power, ends the conduit. The 50-50 either way. We cut the power. We free those poor souls. And there's a chance either way that they come through. I figure with this, either I'll bury them underneath the ruins of the building, or, well, they're all wiped out.
The other question of it, Creed, is, are you going to be able to get out in time? Etheria did mention that the timer is not exactly long.
I'm less concerned with my getting out and making sure they don't get out.
If you believe this is the only way.
I can't see a better way.
And as Max goes to respond, his voice is cut off, as you can now hear the trio talking to you. And now all of you can hear them. Champions of change and fate. You're all here in front of us, finally. We've been watching you with great anticipation ever since our latest collaborator opened this door. It's been quite a long time since we've been able to step out of the fold. We were excited until he played his other card. And now, here you are, to finish his work. The green one began speaking. You bring forth rebirth. and plague. Death between all worlds. Give us a way out. Let the seven toll. The toll man collects, and life begins anew. The red one begins speaking. Honor and vengeance are necessary motives. Blood and skulls for those of the wicked. Yet all of you encompass each of us. Why do you fear the unknown? You're all champions in your own right. We've spoken with the one that you work for many, many years ago. And they all stand silently looking at you, Creed, as you approach with the device in hand, as you all kind of hear their words echo within the chamber.
You may have spoken to him, but frankly, I don't give a damn. As to why we wouldn't want you, we've got enough people out here causing problems. We don't need more. Put rather bluntly, I don't like any of you.
So you would backhand the fates. We could help you alleviate the problems you're dealing with currently. Twist the threads. Return those that need to go home to them. All fine things. We know you all wish to simply go home and rest. You've been on this journey for quite some time. Let us take the fight. Or risk the hole in your sky opening further, or close us off forever. Are you sure you know what you're doing? You've made mistakes before, Creed.
I have made mistakes. And I have been wrong. I see no reason to trust you. I know of no reason to trust you. And the one thing I can guarantee is I will continue to do what I think is right until the day I die. And frankly, and this is where he's going to be, I have this hilarious thought of him walking over, just like clunking the melt on the floor and like laying it down. I suppose this is a good gift to welcome you and say goodbye.
Before you do that, Creed, I want to test one thing.
By all means.
I'm going to walk up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And just out of curiosity, I'm really wondering if the barrier works one way or both ways for blocking. I'm going to take a ration and just throw it at it.
Yes!
You take a
I'm
ration
sorry.
bar and you throw it, and it goes through the barrier. And you see the griffin's face twist as he realizes his bluff has been called.
Okros is going to grin, walk up, because he did hear the instructions. He's going to activate it and yeet it through the portal.
Okay.
Just the three of you standing there as Okros just picks up, it just goes, I'm better at throwing, and just fucking yucks it inside after it's
Creed,
activated.
Krieg giving a well thought out monologue, discussing with these gods about how they're wrong. Then you have the scientist poking it with a stick, and then you have Okros just show up and throw it in the dumpster.
I mean, that's the terrible trio. So,
I tire of these gods' foul smell.
you, Okros, pick up the device as you say your one-liner. And in your hands, it fits okay. It's almost as if this device was built for something of your size or bigger. You twist the handle with a clunk as you see the rings of the device separate and open as a bright blue light begins to shine from inside. And you pull on your handle, or hold handle in your hand, you count to 3, and you underhand throw it through the portal as you see it go between the green and blue demons as their eyes watch it go past them. As the 3 of you just kind of stand there waiting. And so it gets thrown in. As you can see, a grin is plastered across all of your faces as you see the demons panic. And at the count of 5, the device goes off. And you see a bright light inside this gateway blind all of you as you shield your eyes and turn away, as you hear screams rip through your minds, as you can feel the force shake through the barrier as the gate itself crumbles and falls to pieces, as you see the doorway close shut.
Okros, can I ask you a question?
Hmm.
Did you know that it didn't have a weight limit when you threw that?
Pardon?
It- What would you have done if you had armed that and it had bounced off of the portal?
Oh, God.
That's why I started dying laughing. Like that, like choked me up for a moment when you said weight limit.
You immediately understood the question I was asking. Thank you, by the way. But that's all I could think of was the red versus blue thing, where he's like, throw a grenade, and he hits the wall in front of it. He goes, it's like worst throw ever. Someone put a wall in front of me, but in this case, that a ration bar went through. Okay, that makes sense. Strength of the portal comes and goes. Okros decides to grab a car motor and throw it at the wall. What happens
At
when it
that point-
bounces back and we just have to look down? I'm covered, right? I know what afterlife I'm looking at here. I'm gonna come back after a while.
At that
I
point, I'm
feel like
risking the
the
demons.
results still the same because either he threw it or you turned it on. Either way, we were all kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I had a plan for that.
I had
yeah?
a plan that was dashed to pieces.
I
We have
gotta
5 seconds.
I gotta be honest with you, Chief. I wasn't anticipating you just like grabbing it and throwing it at the portal. I was like, oh, I can try to plan this like in the grand scheme. I don't care if I get out. I'm dying to protect people. That's entirely within character. But I just wasn't prepared for Okros just to grab the car engine and throw it at the wall and hope it goes
Yeah.
through the wall.
And then here comes Okros, fuck these hoes, and throws them through the portal.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's like it's like Okros grabbed the suicide vest, and
He pulled
as
an
he's
Aura.
throwing it, he released the dead man switch and hoped it went through the window.
In a nutshell, Okros pulled an Aura, said, fuck it, let's find out, and did it.
I mean,
Okay, so
I imagine
Or-
this
Screw
entire.
tired of these gods' games.
I
You
imagine
heard the
this
instructions.
this entire conversation is happening in canon in front of the collapsed gate. Like it's smoking. The electricity's like arcing off it. It's like falling to pieces. And Karina's just sitting there, just like, what the fuck did you just do? Like it's this completely canon conversation as the beam of light is still going on behind you. Like it's that whole thing is still happening.
Oh, gross.
Mushroom.
My friend,
No mushroom, buddy.
you are either one of the luckiest or stupidest people I've ever met.
Forrest,
Frankly,
Forrest,
I'm not sure which one it is, and I'm not sure if that scares me.
Forrest's gonna open her backpack and check on Gorbaz, make sure he's okay.
He's fine. He
Okay.
you check on him. He goes, "Oh, that was a good thing you did to me. Didn't give the teeth. That's all right, though. More teeth for me."
Or gonna look at her friend and be like, "Did anyone happen to see where their bodies went so we can get?"
God
them to you?"
fucking damn it! They're probably on the other side of the barrier. Shut up. We're not going into that side quest right now.
I'm just doing it for the bit. Forrest's gonna.
So here's a good question.
Uh-huh.
What happened with Balder?
A beam
Well,
of
the
light
is still going. He's still there.
Yeah, he's still
Okay,
there.
good. I was wondering if like the portal being detonated by the Warhammer like bootleg nuclear device would have caused any problems for him, because like apparently weakening it caused him immense pain. I can only imagine what hitting with a nuclear device is going to do.
No.
It went through it. It
What?
didn't hit the thing. It went through.
Yeah, but he's still tied to this thing some way.
We took the
What if
power
he
from
was
it
the
the
barrier?
last time.
All right, well, I guess well, I'll be honest. I didn't think we were gonna get this far. I don't know what to do now. So
Forrest's gonna go punch one of the things in the back of the head.
no.
Roll me athletics.
Oh,
Roll the punch.
please don't push.
I'm
me.
rolling athletics. I got a 10.
You
My
got it.
dice are on the guy's side today.
Thank God.
You slap it on the back of the head, and it like chortles at you in like this deep guttural language and continues doing its job.
Can I try again?
Sure.
Or
The rest of you are having this conversation while she's doing it. Like y'all are still dealing with this whole smoking gateway
21.
demon shit happening, and she's slapping the fuck out of a Vortigaunt.
21.
Yeah, you break its concentration as it chortles again and looks at you with its one big fucking eye, and it's just like as the lightning stops, and you can see the light beam start to weaken as Bowler doesn't scream this time.
Hey, I'm going to the next one. I'm going to slap in the back of the head too.
Or please stop.
11.
Nope.
Try again. Doing it again.
Jesus Christ.
And again, because I got a 7.
How are they bound up? You
25.
said their hands are bound. Please.
They're
How
chained to the
are
floor.
Are their hands chained independently of each other? Or are they one chain in front of them?
It's one chain per wrist.
25 on the.
Yeah, so you break a
25.
second one as he turns at you, and now you have two Vortigaunts yelling at you. Just it's like just fucking yelling whatever this language is at you as they're like rubbing the
okay.
back of their
I get-
heads, and one of them points a finger, and you start to see a green ball of light on the end of it.
Question is, do I move on and smack a third?
Question is, roll a deck save.
$13.
You get hit
With what?
for the ball of light that was coming out of his finger turns into a lightning bolt that he hits you square in the chest with. And you take 10 lightning damage
Okay.
instead of 20.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
I did it for the cause.
you did it for the cause. So as you're having this, so not a Darian, you're watching this happen. You're confused. You see Aura get struck with a lightning bolt point blank. Creed, Okros, and Nez, you guys are standing by the gate as it's closing, and it's falling to pieces. Whatever detonation you did behind it, essentially breaking this device beyond repair. And as you hear the deep guttural chortling, as you see Aura slapping two of these individuals around the beam of light, one of them stopping what it's doing, and the beam of light weakening. She slaps the second one. He stops what he's doing. The beam of light continues to weaken, but then he turns and he just zaps her square in the chest.
Or is gonna rub her chest and just glare at the dude.
I'm just gonna kind of shrug and keep paying attention to Creed and Akros and Nez.
How many gold pieces
Well,
do I
that
have?
beam
I
of
have
light is still summoning things into this world. We do need to stop it. He's not screaming anymore when it's weakening.
How many gold pieces do I have? Can I bribe these fuckers?
Do they even know what gold is?
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Darian!
I'm going to go break their chains.
Yes, Creed?
I'm gonna go break their chin.
Try help Okros.
With what?
He said just say he's gonna go break their chains.
I don't think Akros needs help with that.
There's quite a few of these guys. So
What, 7?
Okay, for context, Creed. I have a -2 to strength. I don't know what you're expecting me to do to help him break chains, but I ain't got it, buddy.
I
you
mean,
can get
for context, Darian, I would imagine you would just like Eldritch Blast the bomb with the chains, or something like
Okay,
you would
that's
do.
fair.
You would do something within your
They-
toolbox.
like they probably got like locks or something holding them into the chains. Otherwise, they just slip the manacles off. I assume there's got to be something over there.
Okay, so in context, I'm going to ask Creed, are we sure we want to be freeing these things?
What's the alternative?
Well, the portal's
Focus
closed.
can-
We could just leave.
Well, I mean, we could kill these things now and that'll release.
We are not leaving them chained here to die.
Okay,
I
the
know, I just need to
alternative
have both
is
of us smack
letting
them in the
Baldur
head.
free, and who knows how that's going to turn out.
I just thought we could have both of us smack them in the back of the head. That'll kill them.
Baldur clearly had a change of heart. He was creating this device to open the gate, and then he used himself to form the barrier. I think that warrants a conversation.
Out of
Yes.
no, actually, I'm fine.
Quick question out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Can we converse with him while he's up in the light, or is he
Nope.
completely immobile and mute?
He is not in a talking mood while in the beam.
Hey, Creed.
Hmm?
Could I grab that shank back?
I don't even know why you gave this to me in the first place, but fine. I'll pass it back.
You know,
Is
I
Is
feel
there
like
a
it was
way
probably
with
a
them-
good idea in hindsight somehow.
is there a way to divert the focus of these beams?
So, as you're all kind of standing around the beam, talking about whether freeing them, not freeing them, killing them, not killing them, letting Baldur live, killing Baldur, whatever your plans are, you all look up, following the beam of light into the sky. You can clearly see the hole in the sky is continuing to grow wider as through it, as mentioned previously in the last session, you can see a different constellation of stars. So whatever's on the other side of that hole is not from here. and you can see something moving towards it. Because some of the
I'm
stars
still
are
on my
being
way to
blocked
break the
out.
chain.
So in other words, we have to get this light to fuck off real quick.
I mean,
All right, I'm gonna start Eldritch blasting manacles now.
yeah. I mean, all right. So between Okros and Adarian, you guys are able to just break the chains rather quickly. And as you do it, they kind of look at you for a moment, then look at their free arms, and some of them think for a moment of like, you're stopping what I'm doing. And like they're having this really very clear like argument in their own heads over what to do
They're
next.
having an existential crisis.
Not necessarily existential, it's almost as if they were put here on their own will and they're trying to figure out what to do here. Now, if someone has any kind of ability to talk with these people in some way, shape, or form,
Don't have it in my spells, and you gave me a freebie last time, so I can't.
Don't look at me. My ability stopped at reading.
No, I have speak with animals, but I can't use it because I don't have it in my spells.
Do they even count as animals?
they don't.
It's kind of racist, bruh.
It
Call
would
them animals.
be the spell you'd be looking for is like comprehend languages.
No, I don't have it. Does anyone have comprehend languages?
No.
I know Celestial, Common, Druidic, and Elvish. Those are the 4 languages I know. And these don't seem Celestial, Druidic, or Elvish to me.
I doubt they speak Orcish.
And so
That's the
as
only other language I know.
yeah. So as
I
you
know Common and Draconic. That's it.
so
I'm an infernal.
yeah, so as you break their chains, they all kind of stand where they were. They're not actively putting energy back into this beam, so you can see it start to weaken. But they're also kind of having this difficulty, this self-argument of what to do.
Ooh. I would like to try to roll perception to see if I can understand through like gestures if they're referencing anything.
Go for it.
Understand body language, yeah.
Exactly. That's a 24.
So as you see them kind of looking at the light, looking at their hands, looking at the light, Creed, you've seen this kind of conflict of interest before from those that you have saved from indentured servitude, slave camps, penal colonies, penal companies. Basically, people who have been so Stockholmed or brainwashed, or however you want to put it, into doing this job that they believe it's their free will, that when they're basically given a chance to walk away, they don't really know what to do with it. Because it seems that these individuals were essentially told to be here by something else. And now they don't have to listen to the something else.
Trying to figure out how to. How do you try to even bridge that language gap? That's easy to figure out. Trying to put into words. Like how do you explain you're free?
You broke their chains.
Not literally, but I mean like trying to convey the concept of like true freedom.
Okros is going to pull out his kitchenette and start cooking a meal.
I thought about mentioning it, but I was like,
Just hold their broken chains up to their eye and then point at the door.
And I'm going to utilize the foreign mutated spices to add exotic scents and flavors to intrigue.
I was gonna say, out of character,
Um,
do these things know what gold is?
No.
Okay, so
Okay.
hang on, I will turn the camera on for a second. So Creed's like gonna get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna like point towards where Okros is cooking, do like the come on, come on, take them over there, um, and have them sit down and actually eat with Okros. And I guess I'm gonna have to use your hands to try and break some chains and try to use some metaphor here, because no idea. Other
And
than that,
for what it's worth, for how it's put forward, is that whatever you're doing seems to be working. Uh, between the exotic spices and Ogris's skilled hands in cooking, between you giving them something for free with nothing in return, breaking their chains and not outrightly punishing them, hurting them, killing them, etc., they seem well grateful for what's going on. And as they're sitting, one kind of pulls on your tunic and points upward with one of its arms. And as you do, you can see that the hole is kind of starting to close, but you see these tendrils almost kind of coming through as the hole starts to close, as they're forced back out. As now, without this continuous power source, the beam of light slowly stops until it's fully diminished, and Balder floats back down to the ground, falls onto his knees, as he's still chained to the ground by these almost hazy green chains. But he just now is on his knees, leaning backwards, kind of just exhausted.
I say we keep his chains on for now.
Considering the magical nature of them, or at least what sounds like magical nature, I don't think we have much say in that matter, actually.
you know what? Creed's just gonna get a gesture the, at these guys, be like, just relax, relax. Okros, could I get a cup of coffee and a plate, please?
Yes, I imagine he'll need a bit of refreshment after that.
Suppose I'm thinking our best bet could potentially be a bit of a carrot and a stick.
Precisely. Okros is preparing a coffee and a plate of food for. Well, I mean, he was already preparing it, honestly.
Um, I don't want to say we should like roofie Boulder, but like, it, whatever Okros is done, well, Creed's going to try to be a bit more polite about this. And you're just going to take out something to drink and something to eat to a Boulder.
So, as the Vortigons sit around Ogris's kitchenette, as all of you are still kind of not necessarily on edge, but you're on guard. You're keeping an eye on things. You're trying not to let anything weird happen. Nez, I imagine you're kind of poking through in machinery of the gate. Darian, you're just kind of on the outside, kind of keeping an eye on things. Or's talking to Gorbaz, the mushroom lump. Normal.
No, he's sleeping.
Oh, he's sleeping. Okay. So
Yeah.
so you're sitting around the kitchenette, I guess.
No, I was gonna go bother Boulder.
Ah, okay, very good. So you're sitting on the side of where the light beam was, watching Creed walk up to Balder. As Creed, you approach, and you can see that he begins to stir as his head kind of comes back up, and he looks and he sees you through weary eyes. He goes, "I never imagined it'd be your fucking face I would wake up to after everything they've said. You are the one that's gonna pull me out of my own shit pile. The
Or is he
Allfather
gonna
has a
work
sense of
Madwell?
fucking humor, I can tell you that.
I mean, to be fair, it could have been worse.
Could have been Ares.
Not at all. I could have woken up and looked like you.
Well, your horns are better than anything I have. Can't believe I listened to any of them. Shouldn't have listened to Zeus. Shouldn't have listened to Ares. I should have kept to my guns on what I wanted. And now here I am, chained to the fucking floor like a dog by some gods I never wanted to serve. And he kind of weakly turns his head towards the gate, seeing that it's demolished and the door is closed. And he goes, huh. So I guess the barrier worked. Isn't that nice?
Indeed.
Eh. He's gonna get kind of do like the wiggle hand thing. It surprisingly worked well, I suppose. Depending on your perspective.
Depending on your definition of worked.
Well, those...
I like to think that just echoes across the room.
Yeah. Well, those three... I don't even have a word to describe them. Aren't standing behind me, ready to defile my corpse like some kind of madman. So I imagine it worked well enough for you to do something about it, which is all that matters. And
Are you gonna
now
tell him?
I'm standing in, well, I guess I'm the one kneeling in front of you, Creed. Watch Commander Creed, the bane of the Godfall, bringer of Pandora, the opener of the Veil, the last of his kind, the herald of Glass Keep. You have many titles on the other side of our little conflict here, all of them meaning well, for the most part. I prefer to call you asshole, shitfucker, dickhead. But that's because I've been pushing back against you ever since you've been setting foot back on this side. But now I see that I was wrong. I'm big enough of a man to admit when I am wrong. Don't ask you to forgive me. I ask you to not hear me.
I suppose I could do that much.
Zeus
Creed.
knows about R1. He knows about the Spire. That's why I'm here. He was trying to find a way to make something just as powerful.
Ever the fool he seems to be.
You don't have to tell me twice. I should have known that I was a pawn all along. I always have been. Whether by my own father or by my brothers. Always the pawn, the brave one is. Always told to go forward, never back. Every victory leads to more chores, more work, more lessons, more choices. Something you and me, Creed, can relate on, can't we?
Yes, cat.
So, what do we do now? I imagine you heard the horror stories of what's happened within these walls. I have a few to share of what I've seen. What was my handiwork and what wasn't. And I'm still chained to the floor. So I imagine I'm at your mercy. Quite the twist of fate, isn't it? The god of courage and honor brought low by a betrayal of his own kind. Enough of my pretty monologuing. I know you all would love to hear me whisper off every secret I have, but I do have my own standards. I would like to be able to stand again, if that would be so kind.
I imagine so. That metal is no earthly steel.
Yes, you're right. It was meant for them, not me. Zeus had me build this place. Well, change it. That gate before was used to go and find things beyond here. These chains were built to trap one of those interesting characters you saw. He wanted them locked. He wanted to use them, drain them of their power, make an ally, break them mentally. He thinks himself high and mighty in his ivory tower, as it always has been, as it always will be. But instead of using it on them, he had me build it, and then he locked me within my own gauntlets.
Well, thankfully, I think I have just the tool for the job. Nez, thank you for the new toy. I will test the sight on one of the chains.
No, I'm just gonna perk up and watch and see how my handiwork is done.
You look at the metal, and you look at your scythe, and you think for a moment of if this would work. But you trust in Nez, you trust in what he's found, and you trust in what this weapon is. And as you swing it, it swings like nothing you have used before. You get a nice little arc into it, but as soon as the blade hits the metal, it shears right through it. And you do the same thing again. You walk over to the other chain, simply placing the blade under it and pulling swiftly, shears through the chains at the base of the floor. Balder's eyes go wide as he looks. He goes, I made sure there was nothing that could break these. Yet, I am saved again by a ragtag bunch of resistance fighters who have somehow created a weapon to surpass the metal that I stole from a world beyond my own. My life has changed. Everything else has. But I am thankful regardless. And as he stands, he goes to his full height, where he easily has 3.5 feet on you, Okros. The man is massive. His body is thick and taut. He is someone who has seen fights for centuries. And as he stands, he breaks the lock on the other manacles as he just twists them off with his bare hands, as he seems to be regaining some of that strength back now that he is no longer tethered to this prison of his own design. And as the metal clanks to the floor, the green haze dissipating, he looks to all of you and goes, Well, it seems that I have no choice, that I'm in one, if not all of your debts. A strange occurrence as that may be, but not one that I am unfamiliar with. What would you like to know? What do you need?
First, refreshment is in order, I imagine. Please, enjoy. Creed, the food you brought for him.
I'll just pass the food and drink to him. Boulder.
And now I am breaking bread with those that I was sworn and forced to try and kill. This will be something to say back in Asgard if I ever make it home through the Agsdrill. Definitely a story to be written down in the ages.
Just indications of a more civilized time.
That is true. That is true. And so he sits with all of you in the wreckage of this prison room. And he eats and drinks with a lot of you as you all just kind of take the quiet moment to change, to let the air of change wash over you. And as you have a little bit of an epiphany as this is all happening, you're drinking your coffee, you're looking at the gate, you're seeing how it was put together, how it was pulled from multiple different studies of thought. There's no real way to fix it. It's destroyed beyond recognition, but you can kind of see what their plans were. You can see bits and pieces that could be useful, but otherwise it's mostly scrap. But as you're listening to Balder talk with Creed and Okros and Adarian and Aura, and just hearing the conversation, you're drinking your coffee, you realize that if that demon was right, to an extent, you were looking to change fates. But what he didn't make clear is that you were already doing it. You look at your party. You look at how all of your threads are connected. You think to those that are not with you currently, on their own voyages, on their own journeys. Ones that stayed with you through thick and thin, who now serve in other spots, doing the same. Remember going over of where you came from. You remember Yuri and Warfarin. You think about how Okros came to be. How he started as a spice trader and now is a bulwark. That he protects the innocent and he smites the wicked. He protects his friends and family. Would break your bones as soon as make you food to cure those wounds. You see how Aura has gone from someone who was insecure of her own upbringing, scared beyond a recognition of anything that came across, naive, but is now, for lack of a better word, a force of change, whether good or bad, depends on her mood, but is now significantly more powerful and focused than she was. You look at yourself. Hunted, experimented, escaped. And now, you no longer hide your face. You wear your mask on your shoulder. You feel normal for once. You've become an artificer. You have trained with masters of your craft. You've created weapons and devices and items and have saved the party as much as they've saved you. You think to Nameless of how he was isolated, afraid, self-centered. And even underneath that thorny exterior of his, he became the heart and soul of the party. He became the edge to the sword that you all wielded. You helped him find his brother. You all defeated the Blight Piper and the Plague Doctor. Villains that tested you to your core. And you think of him of where he is now. of where his brother is now resting. His brother now sleeps in New Haven, along with Leandros and Azrael. All these people you've saved from these different towns, that you've reconnected the regions. You think of the towns you saved under Shiva's care, how you helped Scordoon, though it was not a choice. You did it anyways. You remember the goblin you saved, who sacrificed himself to save you in turn. You are changers of fate. And you can see that even with Creed, jaded, tired, that he's also shifted his own threads. And that maybe that demon wasn't completely wrong. That the reason that everything feels against you is because everything is scared. Because you're right. Because you're a force they can't stop. And that's the scariest thing that the gods are afraid of. Someone who goes against the script. And you are the ones that are changing it. And as she has that epiphany, you walk back over to the kitchenette as the Vortigons and Balder and your party are all just taking the moment for what it is. Balder asks the question again of, what would you like to know? What can I do? And the question hangs in the air for a moment. As, what do you want to know? What's next on your list? Where do you go from here?
The next place that we were thinking of, wasn't it ours? Area under the water.
Yes,
What we were thinking.
the sunken temple underneath
Yeah,
Trawler's Bay.
we're in the egg thing there, but that's where the next crystal is.
Yeah, Troller's. That's what I thought too. Troller's Bay was the next part.
So are we standing around talking about where our next destination is going to be?
I mean, you're basically just sitting around the kitchenette as Balder basically asks you, what do you want to know? What can he do to repay the debt that he basically has with you now, that you saved his life? You essentially stopped the demons from coming through, and you could have easily killed him to stop the whole thing from going on. But instead, you chose to break everyone's chains.
I'll be honest, I was thinking about killing him.
I know.
I was trying to find a way to justify that in character. I mean, it's under the water. We have immense technology. We have, they had the, I hate to say it, the multiverse. It's kind of the best word for it. At their fingertips. We have to find some way to get down there. And I'm not so sure diving suits exist.
I was gonna say, I don't know about y'all, but I was planning on swimming.
That's not an
Good
option
for
everyone.
you.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. For you.
No, you misunderstand me, Mr. Nez. I don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. Creed doesn't know how to swim.
Can he float?
Not in that armor.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
in
he'd
that
have to
armor.
take his armor off.
So, do me a favor. Can you pull up the map, please?
Of course.
Yeah.
Darian, like Creed, is not the biggest fan of water, just for the record.
No, he cannot swim. Like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not sure if you've
Yeah, and
noticed.
Darian's not a water snake.
I'm not sure
Exactly.
if you the glass keep is not in the middle of the water. kind of is open ground.
The glass
creek
keep is in a desert.
Yeah, the the water's not exactly a problem. Besides, when he wasn't like in the desert, he was on land, like going to Headhunter and stuff. So yeah, he can't swim. I don't know. It's gonna be a problem
Likewise,
getting down there.
that was my point.
Like,
Can
so
anyone but Aura swim?
Okros is more than
You know.
capable of swimming, simply not breathing underwater.
I was waiting for you to take the
I
Andre
would
the
say
Giant
Nez has never
response.
tried.
I was waiting for the physical response of I can doggy paddle.
Fair.
I only ask because Okros is a cat and they tend to not like water.
Okros is a lion folk, thank you very much.
Those are harmful stereotypes.
You reduced me to a singular box. Even though that box is slightly corrected, it's still a singular box.
Does Nez have lungs?
I mean, yes. He's a changeling, not a fucking he's not even a doppelganger.
I don't know. Like, I don't know changeling physiology.
I mean,
everyone has lungs.
I mean, if he changelinged into an aquatic elf, he maybe.
He would still have lungs.
What are we gonna do with Lucifer?
Lucifer's waterproofed, I think.
Probably. 85% chance.
Nez is Lucifer
turret.
waterproof.
At the moment, I would say partially, but not fully. To actually be submerged for a long time, I'm not positive that he would make it through without me doing some modifications before trying to swim with him.
Oh,
He's
I
like
can
a
imagine
diving.
that.
He's like a diving watch. Waterproof up to 100 meters.
Up to a certain distance.
What if
Oh, I
we
can
just got like
imagine.
a really big thing, like really big Tupperware container? We put Lucifer inside of it.
All I can imagine now is with Creed with like goggles on and like water wing floaties.
So, I'll interject here just to help you with technology. Diving bells exist in this time period because diving bells were used by pirates.
What is a diving bell?
So you ever put a cup upside down and push in the water and how there's air inside the cup? Think of that on a much larger scale. It's essentially a metal bell. It's shaped like a bell. And it has a bunch of fucking weights on it. It can be made out of wood or metal. It can be like a really big fucking barrel. Doesn't really matter. It just has to be heavy. And basically they drop it from the boat so it captures air and it basically sinks. And so it lets divers who are free diving or who are like collecting shit on the floor, wreckage, whatever, they can swim up to the bell and breathe and then go back down.
Holy shit.
Those have been around for a very long time.
So it's the very first use
No, thank you.
ever described is in the 4th century BC by Aristotle.
Yep.
That's crazy. I didn't realize the concept was actually that old.
Yep.
Oh, it's been around for eons.
Yeah, it's basically take object. I mean, it takes multiple like physics approaches to it. And if you ever like just dropped a bowl in water and saw that it floated, you'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then it's the same concept of how a boat works. It's just the boat is sealed.
Their diving bells are fucking massive too.
Yeah, no, they can be huge. There's like
where in God's green earth are we gonna get one of those?
I mean, honestly, they'd have to be practical to have enough air to actually have them have breathable air for what they needed to do.
Yeah. And if you're asking where are you going to get one of those, and you're going to a place called Trawler's Bay.
My concern is less getting down as in getting in. Because let's just say underwater ruins are not known for being incredibly airtight.
Well, I imagine it may be in order to try to purchase some potions of water breathing or something similar.
That's a much better idea.
That or there may be a little bit of
some kind of underwater vehicle.
That or a little bit of recon is in necessary hands.
Am I able to share my spells, like use them on my counterpart?
What do you mean?
Can I turn them into water creatures?
No, thank
What,
you.
like what spell?
That would have to be
I
like
don't know.
polymorph or something. You wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
use your shapeshift on us.
Yeah. Like if
So
it's a
I
class
would have-
skill, it's yours. But if you have like a spell that's like water breathing, which is a spell you can have, that says like select a number of creatures within this radius and they get water breathing for X amount of time as long as you concentrate or whatever. Like it's if you have something like that, that would work. But you can't just be
Yeah,
like,
'cause
I'm
I gotta
gonna
go through my spells.
yeah. So you can't just like wild shape your compatriots. Like that's not how that works.
Damn it.
Wild shape is your thing, not theirs.
I'm cool. I get to shape into things.
So this
My
sounds
God,
like
that
it will
is-
be
information from Baldur.
yeah. It feels like you guys will need to recon the Drowned Gate, which is the name of the temple you're going to, and then also get closer so you can see about getting something. Because, you know, it may
Um,
not be what it looks like. Who's to say?
Charlie's base is drained.
I mean,
that's-
I don't get me wrong. I would be unbelievably impressed if they managed to do that. Because you can see the perspective size, and that means they drained all of the water entirely.
I'd honestly be
If-
grateful for that. It means I can walk where we're going instead of having to worry
If
about
they
how we're
dammed
getting
it
over
with
there.
the if they dammed it with the bridge, but the bridge is a bridge, not a dam. Never mind.
But yeah, it's bridge too.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I'm thinking that's gonna be blocking our road is combat, because a lot of you are hand-to-hand combat and underwater. That shit don't strike as hard.
Yeah, so it seems that there may be a little recon in order once you get a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
But Balder's
Indeed.
question still hangs in the air. What do you want to know? What can he do?
I'll let the boys answer that because I have no idea and I don't want to ask them dumb things and have the boys mad at me.
Uh, which pantheon does he hail from? He hails from
Norse.
Norse. I mean, he'd still know. I assume, anyways. Creed is just gonna look him directly in the eyes and say, "How can I kill Zeus?"
Ah, the question we've all been asking ourselves. Zeus makes himself sound invulnerable. He's about as invulnerable as the rest of us. We all know that you've killed 2 gods already, Creed. We know that you have the means. And there's always ways. As an old adventurer once said, if it bleeds, you can kill it. And that man bleeds. He isn't some kind of concept or incorporeal being. He was a man who got lucky. Much like I did. Much like my brothers did. My father. We all got lucky. Got given something greater than ourselves and ascended to this title that the humans always held to of being a god. Something they grabbed onto with both hands. You don't need a special weapon to kill him. It's getting to him is going to be the hard part. Do you know where Max is?
I know where I last saw him.
And
I last saw him at the Broken Spire.
that's not the only spot where he is. I imagine
Lot-
you remember before you got sent away that one of the prophets lived. You killed one, the Kingslayer killed the other. And when you went to put the final blow to the third, you were stopped by him. Where do you think that prophet is now? That prophet has been working overtime in High Charity for the past 13 years. He's been under Zeus's control, his thumb, his payroll, doing whatever it is he asked. Where do you think the first place he sent that prophet to was?
My charity.
Oh, no.
I'll be right back.
Much, much worse. The prophet lived in High Charity. That's where you killed the other two. No, no. Zeus brought him to the broken spire, to the one place where the one man who could stand against him had died and had become a desiccated corpse. What do you think he pulled from that corpse, Creed? Where do you think the wardens came from, Creed? Did you stop to pull off their masks? Strip their uniforms? Look into their eyes? Never gave it a second thought. They were monsters. But you know who was under that mask? You remember his name, don't you? A dear friend to Max? Tiberius? The wardens are human, Creed. They're human. Modified, broken, built. And Zeus is rebuilding Max as we speak in his tower. Except this one will be fresh. A clean slate with the same amount of power, but no soul, no leash. Zeus will put him in one. Use him as a weapon, as he's used all of us. Why do you think he hunted the changelings to extinction? Or nearly.
Who's Jenna?
Oh no, we lost Adarian.
Oh,
Oh.
there.
He had to take a important call,
Yeah.
and it disconnects him if he takes a call.
He'll be back. It's fine.
Yep.
I imagine that's an important fact for you to know, Creed. What's actually been going on in High Charity? He has an army of wardens. I imagine you faced a few at this point. Seen how strong they are, how fast, how deadly they can be. Imagine if there was one actually telling them what to do, but had the power to black out the goddamn sun. That's what he's building. That's what you have to stop if you're going to High Charity. Not just Zeus, but his fucking pets. And I, for one, am going to enjoy standing there while you push the blade in. Because much like Okros said, I am tired of these gods' games.
Then let us put an end to them.
That is the best idea. So, where are you going next?
Dollars Bay.
A difficult one. I have
I-
heard Ares talk about something being under the water, protected by serpents of all kinds, surprisingly. It's why the villages, cities, towns fish there. Always gave them good eating. And now it is nothing but angry creatures that seem to skim the waves. And I imagine you should have to go down to the temple. That building they found that no one wished to touch.
Hmm. It does seem so.
Well, you're going to need a boat of some kind, or some kind of vessel. There are the two towns between here and there, St. Roderick and Caudry, two places that Crete has been previously, that I've walked through myself. I imagine Crom hasn't broken the fucking city of Caudry yet, as he's now slain in the desert of the Glass Keep, where he should stay. Now, as for you getting there, the only spot that has an active port would be Caudry, but you'd have to sail across the entire continent to get into Trawler's Bay. The only other one is Head Thunder, which, Creed, you and I both know has a friend of yours in it. And I'm not sure if he's going to be as welcoming this time, since now him and Hades have the pick of the litter when it comes to this.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
You're good. I wish I had a better answer for you, Creed. I wish I had a better answer for any of you, as I do not wish walking into that wolf's den lightly on anyone. Now, so it pertained, I myself will be coming with you to at least as far as Cauldry. That city fortress has seen enough where it should at least have someone willing to keep it from falling into the hands of another blood-frenzied god. At least try and redeem myself for being such a fucking fool. As for the rest of you, I wish you nothing but the best, and that I am in your debt, and when it comes time, I will answer. That you have my word on. But until that day, fight like there's nothing left to live for.
As it should be.
So as you all sit around the kitchenette, the words kind of hang in the air where you have to go next. Of a newfound ally that you never expected. The both portals closed, the aftermath, of course, being cleaned up by what guards remain. Fortress still remains empty, city evacuated. You can hear the shuffling of feet among the stairs, but they don't come down to you. It's as if they know that what waits down those stairs is death for them, and so they stay away for the time. But you know where you must go next. You know that the next step would at least be St. Radric, a resting point for all of you. A spot where you can take your time healing your wounds, resting your bodies, taking the time you need to get yourself ready for the fight ahead, as you've done nothing but that for over a year. Food and drink are had. You've all rested yourselves to the best you can. And you walk out of the fortress. 8 Vortigons in tow, Balder following closely behind as you all walk back to your carriage. It finding itself parked outside the front gate, miraculously in one piece.
Glad it is still in one piece. That is surprising considering the carnage that was happening.
One of those many things you just stop asking questions about after a while.
And as you ask that question, you hear the clicking of what seems to be tiny pieces of metal against each other from inside the carriage. As you see dozens of sets of silverware jump on the edge of the wagon as they are all covered in the black-green ichor from the creatures that you fought previously. As they just kind of jump in excitement seeing you before jumping back into the carriage.
I see our carriage has its own personal defense force. Intriguing.
I have questions and I don't want answers to them.
I thought they turned back.
Well, clearly some of them were outside of the radius of influence at that point.
Well, I'm happy about it because we still have our ride now.
Indeed.
And security going forward, apparently.
Quite zealous at that from the looks of it. Well, shall we?
I'm gonna hop on and relax.
Following Nez.
By the way, on the way out, totally grab that ration bar.
I'm going
also-
to harass you later about the 2 that went through the portal and were lost forever.
I didn't throw any more through the portal. I didn't throw any through the portal, actually.
Darian, not Darian, fucking Nez
Nez
threw
did.
one.
I threw mine through, which it's just a normal one. So
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
You know, we didn't lose the vintage ones. Don't worry.
We didn't lose the vintage ration bars. And so you all clamber onto the cart. As you hear a weird crunching, squeaking noise from Nez's pocket.
Nez, what did you sit on that you forgot you had?
Oh, I just grabbed a few of the packing peanuts because I wanted to see if I could recreate them. Since, you know, that explosive was in it. It might be a nice way of carrying a high explosive.
I believe there was a note with them.
I think it said something about eating as many as you can.
He
Roll
refused to say
persuasion.
what.
Please roll persuasion. Or deception. Please roll deception.
All right, deception, you said?
Please.
All right. That's a +9.
I
Oh,
know,
damn.
warlock.
Low roll. 14.
All right. Give me insight, Nez.
$22.
Nez, you look at Darren in the face and call him on his bullshit.
I'm just gonna straight up just look at him with that sad eye going, aha.
What? I wasn't trying to convince you. I was trying to convince Creed.
So you all clamber onto the cart that drives itself, and the carriage that drives itself. And you continue towards St. Radric. This time, of course, with a guest, with Balder. The Vorgons, they follow you out, and now at their newfound freedom, just kind of walk. You see that they go about the head crabs that are rolling around and fucking around. They seem to just hit the zombies with these bolts of lightning. And the fallen head crabs, you see one of them pick it up and just start eating it. And they enjoy it. You come to the very gross realization that it seems that they're from the same world, ecosystem, and that head crabs are prey / food for these guys.
Ah, the cycle of life. Let's go now, please.
Whoever's driving, you snap the reins on the empty fucking yoke in front and the carriage takes off. just and it's just,
I had this horrifying thought of like they just take it like a lobster. They take the head crab like a lobster and they just crack its back and just
actually
slurp it all out.
you're not that far off, actually. How Vortigons eat head crabs. It's gross. Nature's scary and disgusting. Welcome. But yes,
Nature needs to be in the rearview mirror.
Nature,
So,
it just snaps the reins faster. Like, get the fuck out of here. And so you guys go to St. Radric with Balder sitting in the carriage with you. And once you get there, it seems nothing is going on. For the first time in a long time, nothing is happening in a town that you've arrived in. It seems quaint.
Wait for it.
It just seems quaint. It's a farming town for the most part. It has a number of churches of all different denominations, but it's mostly filled with what looks to be like monks, friars, nuns, things of that nature. Number of what look to be equivalent to hospitals, of a sense. Farmlands, farmers markets. Seems pretty much on the nose, what you would imagine.
I don't trust it.
You find a number of inns. It seems to be a linchpin town, so it has a number of places for people to stay, to eat, to sit, to rest. You come to one called the Worgling Wyvern. Seems a decent spot, if any, to stop. Doesn't seem as many people. sitting inside eating, and it seems to have multiple rooms available based on the board outside. It even has a bounty board posted for those who are adventurous enough to do some side jobs, if they so wish. You go inside, and the menu is simple: meat pies, roasted meats and vegetables, etc. Ale, liquor, rot gut, anything that you can think of. Within reason, of course, for a town of this size and wealth. But for the most part, it's a town.
Yeah, Grease is paranoid. He is constantly looking around. Zero belief this is real. So.
In his mind, everybody around him in this town is whispering, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious."
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Give me perception check, Creed.
That's an 18.
You have this paranoid feeling itching in the back of your head that something fucky is going on. You believe it to the core of your senses. Every hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you can't tell if it's paranoia or otherwise. And as you just take a moment, you look around. I mean, the sheep walking among the street, people are walking around happy. It seems pretty fucking straightforward. And one of the sheep looks at you funny. And it's just looking up at you. You're looking down at it. And it kind of trots up closer to you. And it's just looking at you. It's a big woolly sheep. Just staring at you. And then you swear up and down that it whispers to you, "No one will ever believe you." And then trots away.
Is there a farmer nearby?
Farmers.
Like walking. Like,
There's a shepherd. Yeah.
Here's like, how much for the sheep?
I was about to say, Creed about to buy and butcher this fucking sheep.
Oh, sorry, no, it's not for sale. They give us the wool we need to make clothing and such, sell it out of the textile shop. Don't sell them off for meat unless they get injured or if they get too big. Mostly the rams get sold for meat, not the sheeps. Why, is that one bothering you? She's always been a bit frisky. Likes newcomers. Thinks how they smell.
I suppose you could say that.
It was the eyes, wasn't it? You felt that she was looking at you real funny, and you felt that she was, like, speaking at you?
Something like that.
She's got weird eyes, that one. That's why we keep her in the barn at night. She's not allowed to the room by herself. Because I've had her staring at me through my window once. Didn't like it. Never let her out again.
I think you should put that sheep down.
If I could afford it, I would. But I can't.
How much for the sheep?
Sorry, I was. I missed things.
Bro,
The sheep-
this guy is just giving me reasons to kill this fucking sheep. I don't care what my alignment is. I'm killing this fucking thing. This thing is
No, no,
dying.
He looks at you and he's thinking in his head. He's looking. He goes, 200?
So why does he want to kill this sheep? What did I miss?
Because it's the sheep of
To,
the corn.
200. Go. No. I'm silver. No, not gold. Jesus.
I was like, out of character. Like, what is this sheep made of? Bro's dropping 200 gold for a sheep.
I mean, I'll take the 200 gold. It'll pay for my family for the next 3 generations. But I mean, no, it's a 200 silver. It would be the most for it. I mean, If it's a fine quality sheep, it makes good wool. It's got good meat on it, but are you fucking what?
Yeah,
Or
no,
it's gonna look at Creed and
Creed is
tell
going to
him,
give him the 10 gold pieces to pay for the sheep.
He takes the 10 gold, looks at it, goes, "Yeah, you can take her. Sure. This will be more than enough to pay for fucking everything for the next 3 years, if not more."
Thank
So
you.
what
Long
is
enough
the
to
sheep?
raise a new sheep.
Creed's going to
So what?
take the sheep kind of into an alley, and be like, I know you fucking talk to me. I know you talk to me. You're not getting away with this, you little bastard.
Creed's just in the alley doing the thing.
He's shaking down a sheep in an alleyway.
Oh, gross!
No, listen. Everyone else is like in the tavern or like is in the inn already in the wrangling wyvern, and it's just Creed is outside trying to buy a sheep and is like shaking it down in the alley.
Gonna,
Oh,
he's gonna go to the tavern, his speak his head to do it like this, like, oh, Chris, I need you. Just pop back out.
Oh, gross! Do you meet Creed in the alleyway,
He is doing
Why?
something.
Oh,
or you're
That's
in,
what
Rest of your resources.
you're-
Yes.
or you're
I
in the
will
inn? You
walk
are
over.
doing shit.
You're not
no,
gonna
like,
be here
I
for what
need to
happens
know
next.
what's wrong with this. I want to know what's
The
wrong
sheep,
with this sheep.
the
Like,
sheep
what-
talked to Creed. He swears it talked to him, and so he's panicking.
I am having what the youth would call a perfectly reasonable crash out.
Yeah, no.
I just
We have a
paid 10
talking
gold for
sheep.
this sheep, and I want Okros to murder it.
We
Okay.
have a talking sheep.
This
and you
is
want-
this is perfectly reasonable. All right. I feel like
Okros
I am
doesn't
entire.
know it's a talking sheep. He just knows he's been called over and there's mutton on the menu.
So, Aura,
we have a
you're
talking
you're
sheep, and you
Aura,
wanna kill
Aura.
her.
Stop! You're in the inn. You don't know what's happening. You are doing other shit.
You would have never even heard it talk to him.
You
No,
went
this
in.
is all that information.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling you to let me fucking do my job. So, Okros, you get called over, you walk over, and you see Creed holding this sheep by the shoulders and shaking it while he's yelling at it. In like whisper yelling. Continue.
Like Creed's gonna turn, like, hold the sheep at, like, in front of Okros. I want you to kill this sheep.
I'm not certain why you're so angry at it, but I'll gladly put mutton on the menu.
I paid for the sheep. I want you to kill it. I don't care if you cook it. I want it dead.
Very well. I draw my mace.
Okay.
This has spiraled so fast that, like, first of all, I have to say, Okros, you're a fucking real one. Like, the
Just-
fucking thief
okay.
leader just has a random sheep he just told you to murder, and you're like, all right, sure, no problem, man.
Let's even ask why.
I'm just gonna murder it in the middle of the street.
You're in an
man,
alley,
lamb
you're
chop is lamb
fine.
But
chop.
still, like, bro's like, all right, yeah, sure.
So,
I'm killing it in the most humane way possible, crushing its skull with a giant mace.
very good. So, Creed, you hold the sheep still, I guess. Yeah, fucking Nez and Darren are drinking in the tavern or in the inn at this point. Okros and Creed are out shaking down a sheep. Okros is lifting the mace to fucking knock it out or kill it, and Creed, you're holding it, and it's looking at you with like hatred in its eyes. And not like a hatred of like, oh, you're killing me, you're an asshole, but like hatred like you found something you weren't supposed to. And as you kind of hold it still, as I almost called you Creed again, Okros swings the mace down. Is it literally Ares? No, that'd be hilarious though. That's not the shtick I'm going
That
for
would be
here.
such a great
That
plot
would be
twist.
so fucking funny. Just, yeah, you just killed Ares. Oh.
You know what'd
Okay.
be even funnier though? If this ended up being like Zeus taking some form just to track us, and we end up killing the BBEG just randomly because Creed hates this one fucking sheep.
That's a
And
perfectly
you're like,
reasonable crash out.
well, that's the end of the campaign, guys. You just killed Zeus.
Did you just say BBEG?
Yeah.
Big Bad
Yeah,
Evil Guy.
big bad evil guy.
Oh, I heard big. My brain went to Big Bad Evil God.
I mean
Or
both.
Big Booty Evil God.
But
Big
Big
booty
Booty
evil
Evil
god.
God.
okay then, but no,
Oh,
Like,
no.
that okay. I have to ask: would you even be mad if we just did it that way?
No. It would just be a perfectly reasonable crash out. It's just you would go to High Charity and Zeus would not be there. You'd be like, where is he? Oh, he was a sheep and you fucking murdered him. It's just, yeah.
So we summon Zeus, and what comes up is a fucking decapitated sheep, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
oops.
Zeus found a potion of true polymorph and he wanted to test it out. Didn't realize he wasn't going to be able to transform out of it willingly. Big mistake.
Got stuck in some small town in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and just Creed had a crash out and killed the sheep and ended the campaign. Who would have thought? But no, so the sheep looks at you with disdain as you found out something that you feel like you weren't supposed to find something out, and you did. And as Okros, as you swing the mace down and you just you kill it humanely. You kill it instantly. In a blink of an eye, for both of you. Just you two.
Uh-oh.
The ground around you becomes decrepit, rotted, derelict. The buildings are no longer pristine. They're worn. Holes in planks, broken windows, tattered rags for drapes. The ground is barren. What crops were growing are dried and dead. You see the shepherd walking, but you don't see the sheep. And as you look down at the creature you're holding, on one side of the mace, of the maul being used by our dear lion folk, is a small body. Small proportions. Probably would have been about 4.5 feet tall, give or take. On the other side of the maul is a singular red cap. And as you turn to look towards the shepherd, Creed, you see the sheep he was herding are no longer sheep. They all seem to be these small humanoid-esque creatures, all wearing red caps, as they all turn to look at you.
Oh.
You killed a child.
No, much worse.
What?
We killed
Hang
the
on a
red
second.
cap.
What'd you kill?
Inside
A
the
red
inn,
cap.
the two of you that are drinking, I'm going to need Constitution save from.
A red cap.
What am I doing? I'm in the inn too. Am I just there?
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
Good
I
question.
thought I'd
What
be
are you
right.
doing?
Are
I
you
thought I'd be right back.
are you sitting and complaining? I guess, like, I don't know. You just like sitting at a table and
No,
like
I'll-
putting your feet up,
I'll-
like.
I'll sit with them and be drinking like a tea or something.
Cool.
Going to say,
Con save.
first of all, fuck you in particular, Grim. I should have seen this coming. Second of all, I rolled an 8.
Don't understand.
I'll explain it to you in a second.
He
I'll give
just
you
Do I
guys.
have to roll a
hated
con
us.
save too?
Yes.
He just what?
One person at a time. I will explain what is happening in a second. I got an 8 from a Darian, con save from Nez, con save from Aura, please.
21.
21.
15 with my flash.
15 with your flash. Aura, you feel no ill effects. Nez, you feel a little gross. A Darian, you feel very not good. Like whatever you just drink hit your stomach, and you got stomach pangs, my friend. It is not agreeing with your intestines whatsoever. And that, Adarian, as you look back down at your glass, you see that it wasn't ale that you were drinking. It looks like fetid water. It's gross. If it was ale at some point, it is no longer safe. And as you look up, you see that the person serving you drinks almost looks rotted, decaying, alive to an extent, serving you drinks, but decaying nonetheless. And you look and you see that there are some other people in this inn that all seem to be, well, normal to an extent, unknowingly just partaking in this situation. You see that your two compatriots aren't affected, and they seem content with the situation they're in. You, though, have the illusion broken, as through the window you can see a number of red caps staring at the alleyway. And that's where we end our session.
Fucking make me go to the fucking Baldur's Gate swamp all over again.
So, before we do our recap, now that the session is over, I'll give you context so my players will understand, those who have never run into red caps before, what they are and why this is important. Red caps are a type of fey creature that is summoned due to murderous intonations, thoughts, and actions. They are aggressive, they are mischievous, and they are violent, extremely violent. There is a part in Baldur's Gate 3 that I've played through, Zoa's played through, that Okros has played through, that has red caps in it, which they are basically camouflaged by a hag's spell. And so when you go into the swamp, you're given a choice of a perception roll. If you pass, the illusion dissipates. You see everything for what it is. If you fail it, it stays the same until something happens to snap you out of the illusion. In this case, Okros's and Creed's snapping out of the illusion was Creed having a crash out and having him kill a sheep in an alleyway, realizing that it was a red cap, not a sheep. Adarian's snap out was having his constitution save be significantly below the threshold, which his body just reacted and snapped him out of it. And so that is why the town looks so perfect, because it was to the untrained eye. But that is where we'll go next time on Beyond Etheria Ashes, episode 40.
Look, can I just be allowed to do asshole things once without it coming back to immediately bite me in the butt? Like, just once.
I mean,
I wanted to murder the weird talking sheep because the weird talking sheep. I didn't want this to end up being another apocalypse. Like,
Oh, it was like this regardless of whether or not we did this. That's the fun part.
you kind of just did you and Akros a favor there, dude.
Yeah, you snapped yourselves out of the illusion faster.
I had to drink shit water. How do you think I feel?
Mm.
Gross. That's how you probably feel. All right.
Bad Nez and Ara, they passed their checks. They're still
Well,
drinking the shit water.
See, no. I didn't need to pay that guy for this stupid fucking thing then. I gave him real money.
And guess what? You can take it back in a moment. In 2 weeks, rather.
You're still rich. You've got all that antique souvenirs in your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, let's do...
Don't sell them to that guy.
Yeah, sell him to that guy. Get your money back. Cycle of life. So
that guy is literally standing in the middle of a field of red caps that are no longer under any pretense of pretending to be his flock. He's dead as fuck. Take it off his corpse.
Actually, if it works the way it did before, the red caps still think the illusion's going. You could walk right up and just start murdering them.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we know he's not part of the illusion?
Because it didn't break. I guess.
I don't.
Look, just don't murder him. Murder the red caps and explain to him that his sheep are evil and possessed or something. I don't know.
We'll figure it out next time. So before we go any further into this crash out, Castell's apparently gone into
Can't
the
do that,
entire
Kaz,
crash
he's a
out.
paladin. That would be a subclass
I
change
mean,
for him.
all I'm going to say is if he still thinks that they look like sheep to him and they're still acting like sheep to him as well, but at the same time they're all staring at us because they're angry and they know we just killed one of them, it's going to look real weird for him when a bunch of his sheep charge us and we start murdering them.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. From his perspective, that'd be horrifying, but also fucking hilarious.
I
'Cause,
want
like,
to
he's
see
like,
that from his perspective.
"Oh man,
now. That
look,
sounds
my-
fucking incredible.
the sheep
honestly.
are trying to cuddle him to death." Meanwhile, it's the Doom poster where like they're attached to her arms. We're trying to throw him off.
By the way,
And he's
we're
like,
sitting
"Oh,
here
look at
making
that."
jokes about this, but if that actually turns into a fight, red caps are fucking scary, yo.
Yeah, red caps are a nasty breed.
Okay, see, my answer to that is two things, which is one, an axe that I can throw and retract, and the other one is hellish rebuke.
I mean, fair. But anyway, so two things. First off, everyone levels up. Congratulations. Secondly, let's do our breakdown. So starting with Mr. Creed, good, bad, ugly. What you got?
Definitely. No, I was awake for a lot of this. I think that's a pretty good thing. I've drank a lot of pop though, and 1.5 monsters. So, I had fun. I usually enjoy myself, especially when I get a chance to monologue a little bit. Didn't have to kill Balder. And apparently, Darian is a scholar who's just an asshole and won't just read things for me when I need him to read things. So, it's a pro and a con there. It's a twofer, if you will.
A twofer. Nice.
I'll enjoy myself.
Good.
That's not that I won't read things for you, Creed. I just appreciate manners.
So, speaking of which, Darian, pros and cons, good, bad, and the ugly.
I really, really enjoyed the Warhammer influence of this one. Finding the Melt-A-Bomb in the box was fucking hilarious. Giving Creed shit after finding the Melt-A-Bomb in the box is even better. Cons. You made me drink shit water. Fuck you.
I had that one coming.
No, look, I should have seen that coming. I'm kicking myself because the way you set that up at the beginning was fucking perfect. Just letting Creed have his crash out and throwing me completely off of what you were doing was brilliant. I don't really have an actual con. This has been great.
I'm glad. All right, Moist Elf, aka Aura.
Honestly, my pro is definitely smoke in the back of those things in the head. That was fun. The fact I was like, nope, roll again. Nope, I'm rolling again. This is happening.
Imagine you
And
would just
then
do that in real life.
I probably would. You're not wrong. My con. Honestly, even though it worked out in his favor, Creed killing the sheep.
That's the one thing you hold. Is just he killed a sheep, even though it wasn't really a sheep, but he still did it.
So we don't hurt the animals, except for the undead ones, apparently.
I mean, yeah. Oh, and then you do have a companion now.
I forgot about Galbus. Yeah, that he was a pro too. I love him. He hasn't talked to me in a while.
He literally talked to you before you left.
I was away from my computer helping my roommate with something.
You silly person. Yes.
I literally told y'all I'd be right back.
Look, I have many a thing dealing with you.
Speaking
nerd.
of companions, actually, sorry for speaking out of turn, but over the course of all that hilarity ensuing, I forgot what we did with Balder. Where is Balder?
He's with you.
He's still in the cart.
With us.
So we left him in the cart and went in to get drinks.
I mean, he probably walked in with you.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
He
Did he
said-
have to roll a
How
How
did
did
he
con
not
I didn't know if he was
notice?
in the cart or in the bar or. Oh, Kaz ate him. Okay.
Kaz
Thank you,
ate
Lord.
him. Ah, very good.
Oh.
Cass fixed the timeline.
Did Balder have to roll a con save too, or is he still living in bliss with me and Nez?
He's not drinking because the shit that they serve here is not strong enough to tickle his liver.
But no, like what I'm saying is, when it comes to the red cap, does he know, or is
Oh,
he still living in
He
La
doesn't
La
fucking
Land?
know. Much
Oh,
like you
so
guys,
he's in
he's
La La Land with me and Nez then.
yeah, he just thinks it's an inn. He's sitting in a chair way too small for him. Not drinking because it doesn't tickle his fancy. And Cass, again, with the phrasing of what you're saying, that's a kink
I'll
to
thank
somebody.
you to check the snake jokes.
Boy.
At least
But
until the
no.
session's over with completely.
Check the snake jokes.
mhm.
Since I was away from my existence,
I
what did
forgot.
my little friend say? What did my little friend say to me while I was away? If you remember.
It was basically when the demons exploded. He said, "I hope he grabbed their teeth," and that was
Oh yeah,
all he
no, I
really
knew
said.
that.
Yeah, that was
He
what he
hasn't
said to
spoken
you.
me since then. Oh, he
Yeah.
hasn't spoken to me since then. That's what I mean by he's sleeping.
I mean, yeah, he's snoozing. He's a mushroom. Anyway,
I could
Nez.
plant him somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Nez, pros and cons. While Cass is going on her own crash out, it seems.
I definitely did enjoy the back and forth banter over the Melta before I got called over to it.
Very good.
That had me going. I was planning on just taking one of the peanuts originally and going up to the barrier, but then Rexus gave me the idea of why don't I use the ration bar instead? So I'm happy that was used instead. And the demon's face is basically going, "Oh shit."
Oh fuck. Just they suddenly realize, oh, it's one way.
That and getting to see the scythe getting used and how easily it broke apparently some really amazing shackles.
Yes, it's a very well forged weapon.
I would say I don't really have any cons tonight.
All
It was
right.
fun all in all.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Mr. Okros.
I enjoyed the whole sequence where the holy Melta of Antioch was discovered. And just in general, the whole session. My one con, though, is we didn't get mutton.
We didn't get mutton. That is right. We'll have to fix that problem.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I was expecting mutton to be on the menu, not some
The
filthy
entire
red
next
cap.
session, he's going to be going after every red cap he sees with a receipt. You owe me mutton.
Okros has the receipts. That's why he's raging. That's how he rages.
2 years later, Okros just goes to random towns and starts beating the sheep to death. Are you real or are you a red cap?
No, that's Creed.
That's gonna be another quirk on the list.
Creed just walks around picking up random sheep and violently shaking them. Are you real or are you fake? Are you a
You
real or
just
are you
see
a
him
red
like walking around in like a ragged cloak, like hunched over,
All right, I
going
know
from
you
town
said
to
are you
town.
real or are you fake, but I heard Frank, so now you're just going to be shouting at every sheep. Are you real or are you Frank?
Which one of you is Frank? I know one of you is.
He's looking for Frank the Red Cap. And that's
Man,
just...
it's crazy to believe that guy used to be one of the heroes of the realm. The watch commander for the Leandros. Now he just goes
But me
around fucking
talking to
shaking sheep to death.
But me talking to a mushroom is weird. Okay. I
I
wonder if Creed would.
Question
I
mark?
wonder. I wonder if
One
Creed
person
would
did it willingly. One person went insane because of red caps.
actually know that he was actually talking to me. So I wonder if Creed would believe me now.
Probably not.
I saw that eye roll.
I was still an undead bear.
yes.
Hey, I've come a long way. I have come a long way from that bear. Okay.
You have still a bear. Anyway, my ups and downs for this, my pros and cons. I was waiting for you guys to fucking figure out what the fuck was going on in that room, and I was just like, I don't want to just like push them in a direction because I want them to figure it out because there's a couple of ways that this could happen. You know. So for that room, to give you guys a closure on it, so to speak. If you killed Balder outright with the shank that Nez has, which was the whole reason I let you make it, because you're supposed to use to kill Balder, is that the barrier would have fallen and the hole in the sky would have closed. So the demons would have come in, and you would have had to either fight them or find a way to banish them. Or break the gate, cut them off from the materium, and then they would kind of just slowly deteriorate. Potato, potato, you'd have a bigger problem to deal with. If you destroyed the gate, there's 50-50 shot of one of them getting through. And then, of course, if you stop the Vortigons, the beam would have weakened enough where the sky could have closed, but there is a chance of the barrier dropping because now Balder no longer had energy being pushed through him to focus on keeping the barrier up. So it was like you really had a shit sandwich of a situation. And so looking through those crates and finding that one little thing I had hidden of like, oh yeah, let's see if they figure this out, worked in your favor. So good on you. Very
Okay.
good.
And I got a friend.
Okay, so I was right. That Baldur was the barrier.
Balder
in
was the
back of my
barrier.
head.
That's why when the Changer of Fate was talking to you, is that they said that they used him as a pawn, but then he played a trick on them. He played his final card, which was when he found out he was being used to bring these creatures in, for whatever reason, he made that barrier with his last act. Just because the fact he was like, nope, no one wins. Fuck you. So
He basically threw a defiant sun tantrum.
basically, which is like, nope, I was cool with this until I was being used as a pawn, and I'm kind of done with it. So yeah, that's basically the session. So I'm looking forward to the next one, where you're now in red cap territory.
What was your pawn, or did I miss it?
I didn't really have one. I feel like the first section took a little bit long, but looking back at it, it took the right amount of time as you guys were investigating and kind of really trying to plan this out, because you didn't really have any clues, you didn't have anything to work on. You're going with intuition, and so you went with your intuition, and then finally all of it clicked and it all happened at once. So good job all the way around. But yeah, so to close everything out, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. The timing is going to be weird for the next session, because when the next session should happen, I'm going to be out of town at an event. So, question becomes, do we want to stick with the same schedule? Basically, hit the first week of May, I won't be here, and then we come back 2 weeks after that for the next session, or we can talk about scheduling later if you guys want to do it either the week after, week before, whatever, or if you just want to wait the regular time to keep the schedule on track. I don't care. I just want to hear from you guys about it.
It doesn't matter to me anymore. I don't work Fridays.
Just let me know.
Okie dokie. Which then, probably halfway through next week, I'll reach out to you guys and see how everyone feels, whether to do it impromptu that week or wait till the week after the event, whatever, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for playing a part of another great D&D session from Grim Arrow Productions. Thank you to my players, Mr. Rexus playing Okros the Lionfolk, Mr. Zoe playing Adarian the Yonti Warlock, Mr. Stealth Rage playing Nez the Changing Artificer, Mr. Blackburn playing Creed the Tiefling Paladin, and of course our very varied guest, Miss Jenna playing Aura the Dryad Druid. Thank you all to my players. Thank you all to my viewers. You guys make this whole thing worth it. My players, you all make this as fun as it is to do it as well. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care, stay safe, etc. We're going to find someone to raid out to, and then we will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.